one was just a joke. That 30 seconds was just a joke. But guess what? We have a gimbal, and it's functional. So you should be seeing all of the smoothest transition in the world. Say hi, George.
Hello.
So George was kind enough, in order to bring 2,000 points of Black Legion with us today. We're probably going to introduce the armies real quick, and then that is the timer for the chicken nuggies. Alexa, stop. So we'll be making some chicken wraps and chicken nuggies and hanging out and killing the shit out of each other. So why don't you take the gimbal real quick and walk us through your list and kind of what you're hoping to accomplish today.
Okay, so as he said, 2,000 points of Black Legion. I have, for my HQs, of course, Abaddon the Despoiler. He's got his Warlord traits. The Demon Prince is Demon Prince of Nurgle. He's got a Warlord trait, so if he kills models, he can resurrect D3 wounds, and he rerolls his wound rolls, which is kind of nasty. Master of Possession, he's got a Relic and a Warlord trait, so he gets extra cast, extra range to his casts. He also, whenever I use a stratagem on a 5-up, I get CP back, once per battle round, of course. For spells, he has a smite that just kind of chains. He wants to spread the demonic love around. And then the Master of Possession can heal and resurrect models, give Demonkin a better aura, and then he has smite as well. In the troop slots, I've got 2x10 legionaries with a bunch of assorted weapons. One squad is in strat reserves, the other one is on the board. In the elites, I've got 2 squads of possessed, one there and one there. In the fast attacks, I've got Venom Crawler, and then 2 squads of Warp Talons, one on the board and one here in reserve. And then heavy support, I have 2 units of 1 Obliterator, both there and there on the left and right, and then a Chaos Vindicator. That is it, 2,000 points. I start with 5 CP, and back over to Mr. Counterpoints.
Oh no, I flipped you all around, chat. But basically, yeah, so I am terrified of this list. George is telling me that I don't need to be, but obviously whenever you have demigods of war kicking each other's asses over the battlefield, it's going to get a little bit scary. We are going to be fighting over home objectives in the background, and then we're going to be fighting over a central objective in which his psychers are going to try to get some spells off in order to, basically defile this battlefield. On my side of the battlefield, I do have a Deathwatch. I want to say this is a Spectrus kill team, so it's infiltrators and it's, God help me, the eliminators. So I'll have some mid-range fire going into the center of the battlefield. I do have some Gravis bros in this giant bunker here that are going to be raining hell's fire into the center. I do have some Terminators, and this is, I think, the Proteus kill team, so they'll be kicking ass and taking names and probably raining some hellfire and then charging into the middle to try to deny it. I do have a Leviathan Dreadnought proxy over here with third-party bits from Liber Demonica, and then also, what do I have? I have 2 Storm Talon arrays, not Storm Talon arrays, Storm Cannon arrays, so those will be raining hell. And then this is a proxy for a... What is the stupid? An Impulsor with a Bellicatus missile array, so they're going to be charging up. In reserve, I do have a couple of Blade Guard veterans down here, along with my Watchmaster. He is an absolute, I don't even know what to call it, like a chainsaw or a wood chipper. He basically wrecks everything. And then I do have 10 Vanguard veterans who are probably going to deep strike at some point in order to try to capitalize on some holes in the game. But they also are pretty fragile, so they might get their ass kicked pretty quick. So that's pretty much what we're doing right now. Hold on to your horses. I'm going to try to flip us around so the gimbal is doing a little bit more work. And of course it's not, so I guess I'm just holding you sideways, chat. Good luck with that. But we got some chicken nuggies on the way. We're going to start off. So do you have some dice, and should we roll off for the beginning of the game?
I got a 5.
A 5, I will try to beat that. And a 4, so it looks like the forces of the Black Legion are going to kick us off today. So, it's command and movement.
All right, so in the command phase, I only have one thing to do, really. Abaddon is going to give full rerolls to this squad here. That's full rerolls to hit and wound, because we are Black Legion. So, I didn't mention it in the list building, but my secondary objectives are, I want to do a warp ritual in the center. I want to retrieve battlefield data and table quarters, and then I want to rise to glory, which means my Demon Prince and Abaddon are going to be trying to kill his characters and vehicles. So with that said, we are going to get off to the movement phase. I tick up from 5 to 6 CP, and we are going to start with an advance on the possessed. 0.3, so up to 12 inches.
All right, and while he's doing his movement phase, basically, I'm going to let him do his movement phase. He can walk us through and talk and all that kind of stuff. But we have 10 people in chat. We got 7 likes, so you lazy 2 or 3 people give us the likes. That way it promotes it in the algorithm, all that kind of stuff. And then I'll give you some of the narrative overview. So the narrative overview in my head, I'm actually really, really, really happy to have not an Imperium versus Imperium game, but a Chaos versus Imperium game. And I forget the name of the Xenos race. I should have looked it up before we started the battle report. But there is a Xenos race that was in the first Eisenhorn novel that basically has a Bible of chaos that they wrote in Gothic and that they also wrote in their horrific Xenos language. And we're saying that Abaddon and the Black Legion are here in order to try to make contact with this Xenos race and try to get a copy of the Chaos Bible that will unlock even more death and destruction and spells and ways to commune with the dark gods. And then the Deathwatch are here to try to take a hard shot at either crippling the Black Legion or killing Abaddon himself. I did warn George that I was actually going to try to kill Abaddon, but then we realized he can only take 3 wounds per phase, and also he's going to be not really castled up, but he's going to be surrounded by a whole bunch of horrific Black Legion forces. So my hopes to actually murder Abaddon are quickly dwindling. I will be holding on for dear life and just trying to kill as many Chaos scum as I can. That's my game plan.
Sounds fair.
Yeah, so looks like we, what are those guys again? Are they raptors? What are they?
They are warp talons. So they're
Warp talons.
Kind of like raptors, but they just have double lightning claws. So
Okay.
lots of attacks, rerolling wound rolls, and all that fun stuff.
Now, what's your thinking here? Are you going to try to shut down some of my shooting? Are you going to try to get into melee to deny me from the center? What are you thinking with the warp talons over here?
So the warp talons move 12. I advanced them 4, so they got a 16-inch move. Just to get them kind of into the table quarters, I need to be wholly within 6 of this quarter to do my retrieve.
Okay.
So that's my thought with them, is to try to get a retrieve early over here. That way I can do it 1 here, and then try to clear and do the one in the back.
Okay, and is that an action?
Correct. So they'll be stuck there for the turn. They can't do it this turn because they advanced and they're not wholly within 6, but hopefully next turn I'm going to get them into the trees, do the action, hopefully they survive.
Yeah, hopefully I kill the shit out of those guys. Okay, yeah, I might be deploying a lot more aggressively than I thought. All right, and then horrified of this Demolisher cannon, but hopefully we'll have some anti-tank response to it in a second. If it's 24, if that's 24 inches that you were just measuring out, you can pick one of those units and hit it. I don't care. If you're 1 inch off, I don't care.
It was more of like, can I shoot one and be out of range of the other? But I don't think I can. So kind of are where we are.
I will have some anti-tank coming back for that thing because frankly, that is the scariest thing. It's not the scariest thing on the board. Obviously, we have Abaddon and we have the Demon Prince, but for like ranged anti-tank weaponry, and I do have some sensitive units in the backfield that I want to protect. That probably is my scariest things besides melee. So, all right, let's go check on the chicken nuggies chat. Let's go ahead and check that out. So, chicken nuggies. All right. Very important. Every part of a battle report should have the chicken nuggie segment. Now, can I burn myself? Can I not burn myself one-handed while removing chicken nuggets? That's the question. Oh, that's a chicken nugget for a dog, apparently. So let's do that.
Like chaos game unless you burn yourself.
Exactly. All right. Alexa, stop. Thank you. The violence is about to unfold in the center of the battlefield. So, but this gimbal, we accidentally powered it off in the middle. So if it seemed like we were shaking a little bit or had a weird angle, it's just because it was powered off. But we got a full charge, and so this is about the smoothness that you can expect from the gimbal. So I'm pretty excited. Although I am wondering if Winter's SEO normally has like really smooth camera shots, and he said he doesn't even use a gimbal. I think he might have lied to me. I think he might have just said that for shits and giggles.
Okay, I think that's going to be it for
movement.
So we're going to move on to the psychic phase. The Demon Prince, I don't think is in range to do his reach out and do mortal wound stuff. So he's just going to cast Putrid Miasma on himself. That makes him -1 to hit. Goes off on a 7. Goes off on a 9. Where is your psychic?
I am in that bunker there. I think it's like 18 inches to deny or something. 24.
So I think you are out
for that guy.
For
Yeah.
this turn, yes.
Okay, cool.
So he's going to do, he'll just do Cursed Earth, goes off on a 6, goes off on an 11 because the Venom Crawler gives him +1.
Oh.
So he does have the aura, there's nothing to heal, nothing to smite. Actually, he gets added range because of his relic, so we are going to smite into these gentlemen.
Ah, son of a bitch.
And that does go off on a 10, so not a super smite. For 2 mortal wounds on this.
2 mortal wounds. Some of my guys have wounds. The shield guys are here exclusively to soak up wounds. So this guy shoots warp lightning across the battlefield, and it electrifies and electrocutes somebody's brain. So sorry to my very nicely painted ultramarine veteran of like 200 years in battle and all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, your brain collapsed under a warp lightning stroke. So I am sorry about that. Yeah, it is what it is. He, you know, we'll just say that he's wounded, you know. He says, I have a headache. I have to lie down for a minute.
They're not dead. They're just hurt.
They're just hurt really badly. Okay. Heroes never die.
All right. So shooting phase. We've got quite a bit of shooting to do, mostly into these 2 units here.
Okay.
As far as shooting, these guys have the eradicators with the melta guns, that kind of stuff.
They do, and they do have 5. So yeah, so my eradicators, I'm obviously going to protect as much as possible. Right. It is a squad of 10. Basically, they're a bunch of, even though they look like Terminators, they are Gravis dudes. So I have 5 heavy intercessors with, you know, heavy bolt rifles or whatever who can soak in some wounds. But I do have some anti-tank in that squad. I just have the missile launcher there. Here I have 3 melta rifles, but I would be surprised if you could choose through that many wounds that quickly.
Yeah, a lot of my shooting is 2 damage, which is because they have 3 wounds being Gravis. It kind of drops the efficiency a little bit, so that's what I was kind of wondering. I think I'll start with the Vindicator.
Okay.
He's going to put all of his shooting into that squad there.
In the bunker?
In the bunker, yes.
Okay, cool.
So we'll start with the main gun. I get 5 shots because it's D3 plus 3. Hitting on 3s because they are not the closest eligible target that one is.
And this is with the Demolisher cannon?
Correct. So we're going to be hitting on 3s. Do you want to transhuman at strength 10? So it'll be wounding you on 2s.
How many CP is that?
1 CP, and it drops it to bring me wounding 2s to 4s.
Yeah, and then basically, you said that we were only entitled to 6, but I'm saying we're entitled to 9 for fun. Yeah. So yeah, I'll pay 1 CP for transhuman that way. And just for chat, what you can imagine is that this fat, stubby little cannon is shooting basically a giant, 300 caliber tank shell into this giant thing over here, and then as a result, my dudes are eating shrapnel.
You'll delight to know out of 5, I missed 3 times.
Based.
I exploded 6 once, so I get 1 back, so I missed twice actually.
Based.
And I'm wounding you on 4s.
Okay.
I wounded you all 3 times. It's going to be -4 down to -3.
Okay.
Because of the cover. So,
so it's basically 6-ups or
correct.
die.
It's D6, so if I roll 1s or 2s, then not necessarily dead.
All right, so 3s on 6 or 3 rolls, and I have to save on 6s. And then one thing that's a rule that we did last time, you don't have to agree to it if you don't want to, but I kind of like it better. Basically, I don't think that the -4 or the -5s are fun to play because like you don't even get a save. So basically, my rule would be everybody gets the chance to save on a 6.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's totally okay. That'll come into play with the chain axes.
Yeah.
So you did save 1.
I save 1, and then you have what, like 2d3 or 2d6?
D6. So depending on the roll,
1.
there you go.
1. Oh man.
Good
So,
old D6, baby.
all right. So we have this giant, massive cannon round shriek into here, explode a chunk of the bunker into everybody's face. But lucky for me, it only clobbers enough cement and metal barbs and all that kind of stuff in order to nuke one guy's face off, which is great because these are transhuman, steroided up super warriors. So if they just like fell like flies, then we would be really disappointed in the narrative. But hey, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Much like I'm disappointed right now. He does have a combi bolter. He's going to put that in there as well. 1 hit, 1 explosion because it's a rapid fire weapon. Okay. And then 5s because it's only straight 4. So just 1, no AP, so you'll have a 2-up save.
Okay, cool, because we're in cover. There we go, saved it.
Awesome. All right, the next bit of shooting is going to be the Legionary squad. I have a heavy bolter and a plasma gun in range. They're going to put it into the guys in the bunker.
Okay.
They get full rerolls to hit and wound. They're going to be hitting you on 3s, wounding you on 4s.
Okay.
Because transhuman. Alright, so the plasma gun, it's not a rapid fire, so 1 shot hitting on a 3 hits. And then I'm not going to supercharge, so hitting on a 3. So 1 wound, and that'll be at -3.
Okay, and then -3, so it's going to +1, so it's, or is that because you already included that?
-3 just in general, so
okay.
You'll get a 5-up.
Okay. Oh no. And it's a 4, so it does wound. How many damage?
Just 1 damage because it's not supercharged.
Okay, so we got one more heavy intercessor who has, basically a giant gaping plasma wound inside his shoulder pauldron, but he's still alive.
And then heavy bolter, we moved, so it's hitting on 4s.
Okay. Not going to complain about that. 2 hits.
And then fully re-rolling. 2 explosions, so hit 5 times actually. This is a heavy weapon.
Nice.
And then still 4s, strength 5, so transfer here. We get to fully re-roll wound rolls as well, because they are chapter mastered, so that's going to be 5 at -1, so minus none, so 3 ups.
Okay, let's do 5 3-ups. I'm going to try to hold my gimbal while also rolling, which is fun. I hope everybody is appreciating the gimbal. Last time we were jiggling all over the place, and this time we're actually doing pretty good. So I think I saved all.
You saved every single one.
Yay! The transhuman superior physiology and armor of the Space Marines is standing up to its name, but you have to bear in mind that we are facing our chaotic brethren. So as happy as I am that I am absorbing heavy bolter shots and demolisher cannon rounds and all that kind of stuff, you have to bear in mind that these folks will be absorbing some damage themselves in a minute.
All right, so what we're going to do now, Abaddon is going to shoot the Talon of Horus at that squad in the left corner. So
Beautiful.
Right, my left.
Beautiful.
So hitting on -1 because we're shooting through the dents, +1 because they're closest eligible, and he hits on 2s. So
Sweet.
2s.
If you hit on anything else, I would be disappointed.
So 1 miss, and then it's assault, so not exploding it, and then strength 5. So what's the toughness?
Everything's 4s.
Okay, so
because it's Terminators. I'm going to be playing off of the old edition rules until we get here.
so that's AP -1. So just whatever your armor save is 3 ups.
Yeah, it should be 3 ups. Yep. Yay!
All right.
We are proving to be resilient.
I told you the shoot.
We are not Death Guard. We are Deathwatch. So if you thought that we were Death Guard and we're just like praying to Nurgle right now, that is not accurate. This is just standard loyalist shenanigans, not heretic shenanigans.
The squad in here, how many wounds do they have? Is it all 2 wounds or 3 wounds?
So these are all 2 wounds because it's Terminators and it's just classic Marine veterans.
Okay.
So they're toughness 4, 2 wounds each. I do have Storm Shields on all my dudes who are absorbing wounds. I have 1 Storm Shield as a part of my Terminator squad.
Perfect. Okay. So we're going to start with this Venom Crawler. They have 3 different profiles. They have an anti-tank, kind of an anti-mid, and then a really high volume. We're going to do the middle one. So he's going to get D3 +3 shots. So 6.
Nice.
So these are going to be hitting on 2s.
And is this the Venom Crawler or the Obliterator?
This one Obliterator.
Okay, cool.
So these are going to be hitting on 2s and 6s explode because it's heavy. So 1 miss and 2 explosions. So 1 additional hit. And then it's strength 7, so we're going to be wounding you on 3s.
Brandon Meyer says, I hope you don't get a headache. This is Warhammer 40K. If you don't have a headache, you're not doing it right.
If you didn't start with a headache, if you're already off to a bad start.
Yeah.
1 save at -2.
All right, cool. I love it. 1 save -2. Boom. Oh, no!
2 damage.
Okay. I don't want to burn through all of my CP, so I'm actually going to just eat it, and I'm going to let another hero Astartes die in the name of the Emperor.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the Venom Crawler. He's going to shoot at the same squad.
Okay.
6 shots hitting on 2s.
Okay.
No exploding because it's assault. All hit. And then strength 6, so 3s. Drop quite a few, so just 2 at AP2.
Okay, 2 at AP2. They're normally 3s, but they're in cover, so would it be -1, so it'd be 4s?
Yes.
All right, 2 4s coming right up. I save 1, miss 1, and then how many more shots do you have coming in?
I have 1 more Obliterator doing the D3 +3 that the other one just did. So
Okay, so I'm gonna, and it's 2 damage, so that would kill 1. I'm gonna go ahead and pay a CP to re-roll just to see if I can save a Marine. And I did. Yeah, all right. Now,
Alrighty.
donation towards quality camera equipment. Thank you, Old School. I appreciate you. We are currently using a gimbal and we're using an iPhone, which should have pretty high quality pictures. So hopefully it's not too bad for you. But obviously, eventually, we're going to want to invest in lighting and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you guys have dollar reduce. Also, the baby is almost here. Baby's literally going to be here in the next 3 weeks or so. So if you want to make sure that this dog gets fed while the baby's here, then yeah, make sure that you send some donos and give us some cold hard cash in the super chats. But yeah.
Okay, so the last Obliterator is doing D3 +3. I rolled a 2, so 4
Okay.
shots. Hitting on 2s into that closest squad. All hit, no explosions, and then 3s. 3 wounds at -2.
3 wounds, -2. We need to survive this onslaught so we can do some damage back. 6 and a 1. What's the damage?
2 damage.
2 damage. So I do lose another gentleman. Another hero Astartes falls, but he does his job in order to protect his brothers to make sure that we can enjoy.
You will delight to know that that is all of my shooting.
Yay!
I do have a 10-inch charge here if I'm feeling crazy, and that is 13, so that's out. Do I want the Venom Crawler to get in? No. No, I want him to stay. I want him to get the 4 up and I want him to stay where he's at.
Okay.
If he moves forward, he's going to maybe kill 1 or 2 and then just get killed. So.
Yeah, and I am I'm planning my counterpunch. I think the problem is going to be I might overextend, but hey, this is a game of 40K. We're here to watch super warriors destroy each other on the battlefield, so it's okay. Even if I lose, I'll still win in my heart because I'm slaughtering chaos. Slaughtering chaos, cultist worshipping pieces of shit. So, all right. So, what else you got?
We're not that bad. So I'm not close enough to the center to warp ritual.
You have a 10-inch charge that you're not going to do.
Yeah, I don't want to pull him too far from the master. He gives him +1, but it's within the 9-inch aura. So if I charge, he's out of that. And then I'm playing catch up to try to get up to the Venom Crawler.
Yeah.
Venom Crawler's T7. It's got a 4 up right now, so.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to take most of the shooting if I can. So that's it for my turn 1.
Okay, then I'm going to hand it to you. I'm going to hand this gimbal over to him. The power button is right there, so just make sure you don't hit that.
Sounds good.
And then I'm going to murder some things, and then I'm going to go make some chicken nuggies. And then chat. I did see Eric Brandenburg ask whether or not I had a P.O. box. I don't, but honestly, I've seen you in chat enough to know that you're probably not going to dox me, so just DM me on Twitter or on Discord, and I'll just give you my real address. And as long as you don't send me a pipe bomb, we should be okay. Then, here's just walking you through my logic before I even start making moves, okay? Now, the corny thing, I think that the safe thing would be to say that he has 2 psychers, they're going to get the ritual off in the center. I'm going to have to chew through, 30 wounds in order to do it. Also, demons and melee are really crazy, and he has, I'm sure the Venom Crawler is also pretty good. So realistically, I should stay back, let him score his points, and then countercharge after a round of shooting, and then, try to, thin his hurt. But guess what? That's pussy shit, so we're not going to do that. Instead, what we're going to do is I'm going to leave my castle here because the truth is they're going to have range on everything that I need to kill. I'm going to leave these dudes here because they're going to have range on everything they need to kill. These guys, however, actually do have a solid amount of melee weapons. So do we have a measuring stick?
I do, yeah. Tape measure right over there.
All right, cool. So I'm just going to move these guys 6. We're not going to advance. We're just going to get towards the center of the battlefield. That way, 6. That way we can contest the central objective and make their lives a little bit harder for them. And also we're going to rain some hellfire into them, so that's going to be fun. Then we'll die in glorious combat in the center of the board. That's fine. These dudes are staying a 10-inch move from these dudes. As a matter of fact, if you don't mind, I'm just going to reposition.
Yeah, go ahead.
Move my, we'll just say there. And then we're going to move 10 inches for my fella here. That way he can also contest the board. We're saying even though all the terrain is close and all that kind of stuff, that he can just move the way that he needs to move. This is an impulsor. And then I'm not going to advance because I want to make sure that he can still shoot as well. Then I have a 6-inch move. I horribly positioned my fucking, my dude over here, but that's okay. We'll just say, we'll just move right here, and then I'll just take 50% obscured in order to shoot at the Venom Crawler. And then I think we're done with movement. Okay, so we're done with movement. We're now moving into shooting, and the shooting phase should actually be pretty entertaining.
Do you have anything to do with your psyker before you go to shooting?
Psyker!
Yes, you do have one.
What is within range?
What spells does he have?
So he has Smite and Veil of Time.
And Veil of Time is the...
Fight first, like reroll charges and all
Gotcha,
that.
Okay. If he's in the bunker, pretty much everything's in range. 18 for smites.
Buffs. 18's for smite.
Yeah,
let's
18
make
is
sure
for
that I'm within
smites.
smite. And can I cast 2 powers or is it 1 power?
It's 2. Standard librarians are 2 cast, 1 deny.
Okay, so you are out of range for smite for the most part. I could like cheese it and just move up an inch and call it, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put Veil of Time on these dudes. I think it goes off on a 6 or a 7. I forgot.
Okay.
And I'll just do that. That way, if they get
You see
charged,
the
they can
tape measure?
fight.
Quick, let me see if I am in range to deny.
Rolling, I got a 12, which is a super smite, but it also super power, but it also is peril, so it's going to give me a headache if I don't do it. So I'm going to pay a CP to reroll.
Get over there. There you go.
And I got a 4. It still goes off. I got a 10. I don't take any mortal wounds. As a result, these guys have Veil of Time. They can re-roll charges, but they also fight first in the fight phase. So that'll be good if I get charged next round. I can fight first.
Don't like that. Yep. So, your Psyker's in the bunker.
He is in the bunker.
So you rolled what, a 10?
Yes, I did.
I'll try. I do not. I rolled a 9. Ooh.
Yes!
Ooh, it was close. It was close.
Thank God.
I saw the 6. I was like, no.
All right, then if I heard you correctly, these guys are going to try to do a
Action
next time. So they're 50% obscured, but I'm going to shoot them. The las fusils, which are the anti-tank weapons, I'm going to put these into the demolisher.
Okay.
And then all the other ones, the 3 bolt rifles and the
carbines,
regular bolt carbines or whatever, I'm going to put into those guys.
Okay.
So I have 5 dudes with the normal bolt carbines. They remain stationary,
so
I think they get double shots.
Are you taking a -1 to shoot him with the...
So they're 2+, and it's through the trees. So yeah, why not? Let's just take it on a 3+.
I have a smoke screen strat, which is why I was asking. I can make a -1 hit if I so choose.
Okay. That's up to you. So how about I do the raptors or warp talons first, just because I'm gonna shoot them with a whole bunch of shit.
You know, the shield's poking out past the tree, so I'm pretty sure you don't. So I'll just spend the CP and make a -1 to hit.
Okay.
So we'll just call that fair.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I need 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You can just dump the dice cube if you need to.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
All right, feels bad using chaos colored dice, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be the bolters, which I think that their little special thing is they auto wound on 6s.
Correct, yes.
But they only hit on 3s because they're normal Marines.
Hitting on 4s because you're shooting through the trees.
Okay, so I only get 2 6s and a hit, but those are auto wounds, so I get 2 wounds, and then I got to roll 1 more.
Correct.
So 2 auto wounds, and then what is this? I'm strength 4. Your toughness.
Toughness 4. So force.
4s. I do not convert, so you have 2 wounds.
Okay.
And I think this is it's either AP 0. I think it's AP 0.
Okay, so 3 up. Nope.
Yeah.
So. I will spend a CP, try to reroll, just to try to...
No!
Yes.
Dang it!
Right. So, 1 has 1 wound remaining.
Alright, so we have a fusillade of bolter fire coming into the warp talons, and we only wound 1, which I guess... We told you, the Astartes are resilient, so this makes sense. Then I have 3 mortis rounds. I want to say they're like 6 -2, 2 or something like that.
Okay.
But... we can check that if we need to, but they hit on 2s, but I'm going to put -1 because they're shooting through the trees, so they'll be hitting on 3s, and I think it's just it's going to be heavy 1 each time, so it's just going to be 2 hitting on 3s. I hit once, miss once. I'm not going to pay a CP just to kill a warp talon, so I'll just leave it going, and then I think it's like strength 6, so it should be 3s to wound. 3, that's 1 wound. I want to say it's like -1 or -2.
Does that rock count as cover?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so it'll be, if it's -2, it'll be a 4 up. So
and he makes it anyway, so it doesn't matter. All right, so just wounding some dudes. Son of a bitch. All right, now we're going to move on to the anti-tank fire, which is going to be... let's start with the Meltas. Because let's start with the last fusils, excuse me. Because,
because the same
I
unit.
still have those 2 guys, or I have 2 last fusils to do.
And I did spend the CP, so he is -1 to hit.
Okay, so if I'm shooting on a 2+, I'm hitting on a 3+, and I have 2 shots. I hit once, I miss once. That sucks, but it's okay. It's just a last fusel. It's only damage 3 anyways. I think it's strength 9, toughness 7.
8. So yeah, so 3 still.
Okay, 3s. 3s. All right, I got 1 wound. It's going to be -3 damage.
So he's 2 up, so 5 up. Nope.
Yes.
So
all right,
he
so
is down
3 wounds on that guy.
9 wounds remaining.
Awesome.
I think he has 12.
Then I'm going to do the, whatever you call it, where you fire twice at the same target with the eradicators. So
Total obliteration.
Yeah, so we have 2 shots per. I have 3 dudes, so we're going to be firing 6 times with Melta shots at those guys. They hit on a 3. If you want to say it's, oh, you're -1 to hit because it's 4s.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. So 4s, I wound 3 times and I miss 3 times, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. I'll just take it. I'll just eat it. It's early in the game. We don't need to burn all our CP.
And then
strength 8.
T8, so 4s.
Yeah, 4s. I get
Pretty
2
good.
wounds. It's minus a bajillion, so I'm sure you got 5s or 6s.
It'll be 6s.
Okay.
Nope.
Yay! 2d6 damage. Let's see if we can kill it. Come on, buddy. I believe in you. I believe in your dice. I believe in you so much. 6.
Puts him down to 3.
I'll take it. So we're down to 3, and I still have some anti-tank in my shenanigans, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to put everything, which is 2 aggressors and 3 heavy intercessors.
Okay.
And a storm bolter into these guys.
Okay.
And then I think the grenades, if I remember correctly, they're like 2d3. No, they're 1d3, but I have 2 of them.
Yes. Yeah, because if they're the pistol aggressors, then yeah.
Yeah, so they're the... so on top, it's all like the same profile. So I get 1 shot there, 2 shots there. So that's 3 extra shots on top of each bolt storm, which
Correct.
is, I think it's 3 per gauntlet.
Yes.
So it's 3, 6, 9, 12, plus 3. So I get 15 shots here at bolter strength.
Sounds right.
And I'm putting all of them into the warp talons.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
And then
12.
Are we counting that as shooting through the forest or no?
Yes, -1 to hit. Okay. If I'm going to take the -1 to hit for being in bunkers and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to give you the -1 to hit for being
behind the
and
trees.
stuff. Because that's like the whole thing is you want it to be even so no
Yeah.
team can wipe the other team immediately. But these will be hitting on 4s. And I get a lot.
Yeah, it's decent. It's pretty good.
Yeah, so, and then my Watchmaster is in the machine, so I don't get any rerolls.
Not yet.
So I convert like 6 or 7, which honestly, for hitting on 4s, I think that's mathematically perfect.
Yeah, and then T4, so...
T4 versus 4, so I got to convert some 4s here. And I get 3 wounds, and I think it's just going to be AP not, so it's just going to be 0s, so 3 ups.
2 ups because I'm going to cover.
Ah, you son of a bitch.
Oh, I see. The one guy still dies.
Yes!
I already
killed 1 more talent.
I already re-rolled the save, so he is
absolutely
dead.
hosed them with bolter fire, and I've killed 1 guy. I'm feeling really good about it. Son of a bitch. All right.
To be fair, that's 5 attacks you just took out of the squad. So
So all right, then I have 1 storm bolter, which is like I think it's whatever 2. It's rapid fire
4.
2.
Yeah, so 4 shots.
Yeah. So because he stood still or whatever. So 4 shots, and then I have 3 dudes who I think are rapid fire 2. So if I remember correctly, so they'll get 2, 4, 6 because they didn't move, and then I'll have that one. All right, cool. So some more bolter shots coming in, hitting on 4s. I wish these things auto wounded because I got 2 6s right there. So I actually got, this was more healthy. And then let's wound on 4s. And yeah, nice. If you want to do that, 4 wounds at AP not.
On the Warp Talons?
Warp Talons.
All right. 2 ups. Save them all.
Dang
Woo!
it. All right.
Thank God for cover.
It is what it is. Let's try to blow up the Vindicator.
No!
So,
No!
All right, so far, chat, just in case you're not paying attention, these guys have all fired. They wounded a Warp Talon.
Yeah, we took 1 out.
These guys have all fired. We killed a Warp Talon. The anti-tank is fired. We're down to 3 wounds on this, which is a good start, by the way.
Bottom bracket.
Yeah,
so.
almost wiping a tank is a good start. So we're going to do a Bellicatus missile array into the tank.
Okay.
And then we're going to do storm bolters. I'm actually still going to try to wipe the Warp Talons. Because I know I have all these threats that are coming right up the board, but the truth is we're going to rip the shit out of each other. So it is what it is. So Warp Talons, they're going to catch some bolter fire, and the Demolisher is going to catch a missile. The Bellicatus missile array Is that like heavy 1 or heavy 2? I forget.
2. Bellicast Missile is 2.
Okay, so 2. So you're -1 to hit, so that's gonna be 4-ups. I hit both times.
Lovely.
I think it's -3 d6 or something like that.
Yeah, 4 is to wound.
4 is to wound. I get 1 wound, and I'm gonna let it fly. Go ahead.
Okay. I save it.
Son of a biscuit!
No!
Well, let's finish with the tank. We got Stormbolter, so I think you're almost within double ranger, right? It's like 12 inches or something like that.
Should be,
I can just do 2. That's fine. Let's just do 2. I missed both times. That's fine. Then let's do.
You're putting the bolters from this squad into the warp talons.
I put the storm bolter here.
Okay.
I know it looks like a heavy bolter, but it's not. It's
Gotcha. Yeah, because it's the impulsor. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
in there. And then what I'm gonna do, I will put my this dude in there, but for now I'm gonna do these Marines because I want to kill your Vindicator.
Okay. So the warp talons advanced. I have a stratagem that after they advance, I can make them -1 to hit. I think it's Winds of the Warp or something like that. So I'm going to spend that so the warp talons are -1 to hit. So no matter if you get through the trees, not through the trees, they're still -1 to hit.
Okay. Then.
Trying to save them. They've lived this long. I'm trying to save them.
Well, now that makes me want to kill them more. So, it's like one of those things where like you need to be efficient, but then like the thing is pissing you off, so you just want to kill it.
So
more.
just so you know, the retrieve action, because they're not troops, I have to roll under the amount of models I have. So the more models you kill, the harder that action becomes for me.
The more models I kill, the harder it is?
Correct. So if I have 3 models, I have to roll a 2 to complete the action.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll try to kill them in a moment, but I still want to finish the Demolisher Cannon guy.
The Vindicator.
So I do have a whatever this guy is.
Missile, crack missiles.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, is it
2?
Heavy 2?
2.
All right. So let's do 4-ups on that. I get 1 hit. Let's try to wound on that. So it's going to be 8 versus 8. So it'll be whatever.
4s.
I get a 6. So you need to do.
Not that.
Okay, sweet. So.
Or actually, it's AP 2. Are you in Devastator or no?
Yes, because it's
so AP 3. So I fail.
Okay, sweet. Whatever lies I have to say. All right, D6. I need more than 3. I get 3. Yes. Does he explode?
Do I go Boomba? Yes. All right. So. All right. So it is 6-inch D3. So we are gonna hit. Warp Talons are just out. Whew! Demon Prince, Possessed, Abaddon, and Legionaries.
Yeah.
So, Demon Prince is gonna take 1.
Yes.
Abaddon is gonna take 1.
Yes.
Possessed, take 1.
Yes.
And the Legionaries take 1. So
all right.
I'm okay with that. It's not bad.
Listen, all I need,
1.
chat. All I need is narrative.
You could take this for 1.
All I need is for things to, we fired a whole bunch of melta shots. We melted through it. We fired a whole bunch of missile shots. It spanked off the armor. We fired a final missile shot that finally went down the tube of the Demolisher cannon, or it pierced a little hole that was already inside it, and we nuked it. And what is that, like 150 points, 200 points?
130.
130 points. So 130 points is not a lot to take off the board considering how much firepower we poured into it, but that is one less anti-tank thing that's coming back my way. And, the impulsor is probably not long for this world, which is fine because that's its job. It charges up the battlefield and then it gets nuked and then it spills out its contents. But I want my Storm Cannon Leviathan Dreadnought to just be raking fire across the lines the entire battle. So,
which is about to happen.
Yeah, so basically we're doing pretty good. And by the way, if you're complaining about the gimbal, that's on you fellas, because basically I don't think anybody's complaining about the gimbal, but the gimbal is doing its job. It's doing its job very well. So, all right, I'm going to pass this back. And then, all right, so we nuked the Demolisher finally. Oh, and then we do have to finish up with all the Terminators and Stormbolters and all that kind of stuff. So the Assault Cannon is Heavy 6. I'm going to start with that. 3, 5, 6. Heavy 6, it's like 6 minus 1, 1. So I'm just, sorry, I didn't declare my target. I'm going to, since these guys are about to get charged, I want to shoot the demons.
Okay, so the Possessed, there is 1 on 2 wounds, just so you know. And they don't have the 4-up because they're out of 6 inches from the Psyker over there.
Then if you're okay, we'll just give you the +1 to cover because they're in a cover piece. So
okay, sounds good.
We'll do that. But Can I just say that's a 3-up? I mean, they're staring at each other.
That's fine. Yeah. No, that's fine.
They're 10 feet away from each other.
That's fine.
If they can't hit each other now, then they're in trouble. All right, so we got 4 hits. It's strength 6. What strength are they?
They're T5.
T5. So I still get 3s to wound, luckily. I only convert 2. It's -1 damage.
So -1. They are in cover, so I'll get just 3 ups.
Okay.
I saved them both.
Save them both. Damn it. All right. Then heavy flamer. I think is it heavy flamer? Is it toughness 4, toughness 5, or
Heavy
strength 5?
heavy flamer is 5.
5.
5 -1 is usually heavy
And
flamer.
then I think it's like a D6 shots.
D6 hits, the auto hit.
Oh, auto hit.
Yes.
So I get
6
6
hits.
All right. All right. 1.
And that's into the possessed as well?
Yes. 4, 5, 6. Oh no. So these are auto hitting, so I have to do the wounds, and I'm strength 5, toughness 5, so I convert on force.
That's pretty good.
All right, so I get 4 wounds -1 damage.
All right, so 3 ups because they're in cover. Save them all.
Convert, son of a biscuit. All right.
Glorious combat it will be.
All right. That's why I have that's why I have Power Fist, Chain Fist, and Thunderhammer. So
I'm not looking forward. Not looking forward to that.
1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 Stormbolters. They are Terminators though, or they're within 12 inches. So
they always get the rapid fire of the Terminators, so
yeah,
you're gonna
but
get
I have
max.
one guy who's not or I have 2 guys that are not Terminators.
Gotcha.
So 1, 2, but they're within 12. So
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna
fine.
double count it, and then so that it's like rapid fire 2 or 4.
So you're gonna get 4
So
shots.
they get 4. Okay, so 4, 8, 12, 16. I get 16 shots out of the Terminators. So it always feels good to have a lot of dice in your hand.
It does.
But then what's really sad is when it doesn't convert.
Yeah.
So we're gonna say 3s because they're staring at each other's faces. There's no Watchmaster. He's chilling in his big tank. So unfortunately, we only get this many shots, which is still a good amount. Strength 4, toughness 5. So I'm gonna be wounding on 5s or something.
Yep.
I do convert some.
That's pretty good.
So I convert 4. So I think we have 4 at like AP dash. So it's whatever their normal save is.
So 3 ups. So the
Finally!
one on 2 wounds is dead.
Yay! Finally! Which like,
Dead.
so I know how annoying this is, like, and it's annoying to me because I'm trying to kill all these stupid things. But like, you have to imagine like the battle where these dudes are charging through the tree line. They're coming for their, warp ritual or whatever. They're trying to clear the way for their psychers and all that kind of stuff. And they just get rinsed with like heavy flamer fire and rocket fire and assault fire and bolter fire. And then finally one of them is brought down, which I think is perfectly narrative, perfectly fine. So since I don't want the warp towns to get off easy. So what we're going to do here...
Leave them alone!
We're not going to at all. We're going to put each storm cannon array is heavy 8. So I am putting 16 storm cannon shots in there, and I'm pretty sure it's like 7 -1, 2 damage or something like that. It's crazy.
They are -1 to hit because of that stratagem.
Yes. But I still
Will
have
that
16.
save them? Probably not.
We'll see. No, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll
It
see.
might.
They've been pretty resilient so far.
It might.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So hitting on 4s or whatever because they're in cover or they're partially obscured.
Yeah.
So come on, buddy. I want to shake it enough that I feel like there's a bunch of 4s in there. That feels like it. Okay. Yeah.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
I felt it. I felt the 4s. Here we go.
It looks slightly above average.
Yeah.
Slightly above average.
For hitting, and then these are misses. I think I rolled that one, so I'll take it out. I think I rolled it after the fact where I bumped it.
And then it's strength 7?
Yeah.
So 3s.
Okay, 3s to wound. Please, God. Please, God, kill something. 3s to wound. That's not as good as I wanted it to be.
2 damage each?
But it's still okay. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 3, 2 damage, and it's minus. I think it's like -1, 2 damage. Or something.
Is it heavy?
It is heavy.
So -2.
Oh,
So
nice.
4
Okay.
ups. They are dead. 1, 2, 3, 4 are dead.
Yes!
And I have already CP rerolled, so if you take that away.
Yes!
We'll go ahead and take that away.
Oh my God!
So not only is that is going to be 3 points because you killed a unit in a fast attack slot.
Oh.
For your secondary.
Listen, Chad, like It's like 70-something degrees in here because we got the AC blaring, but the rolling of the dice and the moving around and the doing the things, it's starting to heat up in here. So while this shooting phase was not the most eventful one ever, we did finally succeed in wiping the anti-tank. So it's going to be harder for him to blow apart my dreadnought, who hopefully will be like wiping infantry units, like one per phase. And then we finally wiped the warp towns, which honestly, I should have started shooting over here. That's what I should have started with.
Just volume of fire.
Yeah, so should have started there. But that's all my shooting, and I'm not going to charge anything. I'm going to let you charge me. So actually, yeah, so can you hold this for 30 seconds while I assemble chicken nuggies?
Yes.
And then make us some honey mustard, and then we'll come back for your turn. So if you want to start moving your units one-handed,
Sounds
while talking to
good.
chat, that would be fantastic.
What I'm going to do while talking to chat is actually add up your score, so that way we know what you got. You did kill a vehicle, so your score 1 on oaths. Just for everybody at home, we're doing a little bit different. So secondary objectives, we're doing like normal, and then primary, there's 3 objectives, 1 in my home, 1 in the middle trench, 1 in his home. They're going to be worth 15 points apiece at the end of the battle. So see, I believe you are at 6 for your 1 secondary because you killed 1 in the heavy support, 1 in the fast attack.
Listen, I'm just happy to be here. Okay?
A day when you throw dice is always a good day.
Yeah.
So we'll say you're at 6 for that. Oaths, you're at. It is the end of the battle round. You didn't fall back or fail morale.
Okay.
You killed a vehicle. You don't have a unit wholly within center, so for oaths you're going to score 2, so that's not bad. And then no prisoners. We will count up at the end, but so far you're at like 1.5 points for no prisoners, but we'll tally that up at the end of the battle.
Sweet.
And then for me.
And sorry, it's taking me a second, but I actually need to eat lunch or my stomach is going to start eating itself, so I will put this here. I'm going to make myself the actual wrap, and then we'll come back and murder some boys. For you, chat, I'll eat some wilty spinach. Okay? I won't even properly inventory my spinach. I'll just throw a handful of wilty spinach onto my wrap and call it a day.
Brandon Meyer says Operation Chicken Nuggets is now in effect.
Although it is Operation Cold Chicken Nuggets at this point.
Hey.
Hey, listen, like we said, rolling dice is the priority, and it does make the days beautiful.
Exactly.
So, a little bit of honey mustard on top. And
Two,
we'll have
five,
some comfortable honey mustard. And then I will get a refill. You want some more Sprite or water?
Water will be fine.
Okay.
I will walk my glass over to you. There you are, sir.
Thank you kindly.
All right, chat. So Black Legion turn 2. Retrieve is not going to plan. Doing actions in table quarters. I am now going to have to probably drop my legionaries. Thank you, Leo Whitmer, for the $50. What a champ!
Leo!
What a champ!
Money.
It's to make you feel better for after I charge you with all the stuff I'm going to charge you.
Leo, thank you for the consolation prize after all my Marines get hurt.
Every little bit helps, and he definitely appreciates it. So, all right. So the plan is going to be to try to advance and charge with Abaddon, try to get him into the battle. Maybe try to kill the Impulsor with the Demon Prince. We'll see what we can do, because I need to kill vehicles and stuff and characters with my characters in order to get one of my secondaries. Also, we want a Warp Ritual in the middle to start getting that tally, because if I don't start now, it's never going to happen.
You have chicken nuggets with dippable honey mustard. I have a chicken wrap. I'm going to gross out chat by eating next to their faces, but I will try to chew very quietly.
All right. And you do have, these guys are jump packs, so they can just drop in, right?
Correct.
That's concerning. All right.
Yeah, so I have a bunch of beautiful jump pack bros in here that will counter deploy against his deployment.
In the command phase, Abaddon is going to, let's see. Yeah, because I'll make an advanced charge. He's going to give the chapter master to himself, so he's going to be rerolling all of his own hits and wounds. And on to the movement phase. Yeah, so move him to here. 12. He is just going to slide. Actually, let's move the envelope first. So move up to here. He will just have a shuffle forward up to here. Master O possession is going to. He's going to start sliding over toward the middle. So that way. I think the Demon Prince is going to try to warp ritual this turn, and then Master of Possession is going to attempt it next turn.
And then, Chad, I hope you appreciate me breathing very quietly and chewing very quietly, because it is very hard. Somebody was saying the chicken nugget strap is OP, but it is why Connor is out of CP.
No, he's not out yet. He actually has more than I do.
Yeah.
I'm just too busy making.
I think I've transhumaned and I probably like re-rolled twice, so I think I'm probably down to if we started at 9, I'm down to, why can I do math? 9 minus 3, 6. I should have 6.
Here.
So Louis Cipher says, "Oh, why can't I make trees like this?" So this was bought from a company. I forget what their name is, but if you Google like tree flocking kit or something like that, they actually come with these like little wire brush. This one is not as done as well as everybody else, but they come with flock, which is just these little like different green puffs. And then this is like a little bit of like wire. And so you spray paint it with spray glue, and then you throw down the flocking on top of that. And that's why the trees look so good. So it was expensive, but it was really good. And what was I thinking? So shouting out sponsors real quick. So Deathray Designs, they did terrain. I'm not using any of their stuff today, but they sent me a whole bunch of really good looking terrain that's going to be featured in the next battle report. And then, of course, we have Mastermind Models and Miniatures, basically a excellent painting studio out of Huntsville, Alabama. So if you are rich, you got a little bit of extra money, you would rather war game than paint. Painting, of course, is pretty fun. Like, I love painting all my beautiful guys, but if somebody wants to, if you want to make your own dudes, or excuse me, if you don't want to spend so much time painting, then just hire a painting studio and they'll do it for you for, it will be expensive, but it'll be beautiful. Look at this Dreadnought. This Dreadnought was done by them. So they kit bashed it, they bought all the parts, they painted it, it's beautiful. So use a painting studio if you're rich. Obviously, I want your money, but if you would rather spend that on painting guys, I will not complain. And then finally, who's the other guy? Libra Demonica. So if you see cool third-party bits, for instance, these guys who have all these like little ultramarine spits on them, the third-party bits are from Libra Demonica. So they just like resin print a bunch of really cool custom chapter and legion bits that make your Marines like really stand out. So if you really want some cool extra bits, check out Libra Demonica. So yeah. So of course I want your money, but if you want to spend it on cool Warhammer stuff, then spend it on cool Warhammer stuff and I won't complain.
This Demon Prince does not have 15 minutes remaining. I'm just going to put it there just because you just going to keep following.
It's about to get really messy in the middle.
My legionaries are going to come in. They're in strat reserve, so I can't come in your deployment zone.
Mm-hmm.
I have to come in within 6 inches of a board edge. So they're going to pop in over there on the other side of the trench.
Can they do any secondary objective things?
They can do the action when they come in, yes.
All right.
And because they're a 10-man unit of troops, they'll auto-pass it.
Do they complete the action in your phase?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it completes at the end of my turn.
Okay. So I can't stop you this turn, I can only stop you next turn.
Correct. Although they can only do it in each table quarter one time, so once they're done with this one, that's it for this quarter of the table.
Okay.
On there. So they're going to retrieve data in that quarter.
Uh-oh, guys. We're letting them get away with things.
Okay. And warp talons are going to pop up back here.
Uh-oh.
To screen you out of my backfield, so that way you're not dropping in and taking my home objective with your jump pack bullies. That goes with imprints. All right. I believe that's it for movement.
Uh-oh.
So psychic. Just so chat knows, I gave Abaddon advance of charge at the beginning of the command phase. I spent a CP to reroll his advance, rerolled a 3 into a 3, as is tradition. So he moved up 9 inches and now can charge as well. So.
Yeah. So chat, it's about to get ugly. Don't look at my sink. It's got dishes in it, but look at this nice little cactus over here. But yeah, so we got the gimbal, we got the camera. Honestly, for like donos for like tech stuff, we really just need like those little light boxes or whatever, because right now we're dealing with like little yellow chandelier lights. But we could get those nice little like white light boxes. That way everything's properly lit. But besides that, I mean, this is pretty much on par. Maybe my narrative isn't on par with Winter's SEO. But as far as walking around with a camera and showing you cool stuff, I think we got that down. I'll try not to breathe so heavy and eat so loud, but besides that, I think we're doing good.
All right, psychic phase. We're going to start off with the Master of Possession. He's going to do his aura, and that goes off on an 8. You do have a deny in range, so any of these that you want to deny, you can.
Which one is, what is this spell?
So that spell is going to give Demonkin, demon engines within 6 inches of him about her invuln, and then if you charge stuff...
Yeah, I'm going to try to deny that. So what did you roll?
It's an 8.
8. All right. Try to deny. I'm within 18 inches with my little librarian. I roll a 5. I do not successfully deny. He gets his little warp shenanigans off, and unfortunately for me, he now has a better save. So even if I send in my whirlwind troops that should be able to rip apart some shit, it's gonna be tough.
All right. He's going to do Pact of Flesh on the possessed in the center.
Okay.
And that goes off on a 10, so the one you killed is now resurrected.
Son of a bitch! I was so happy to be killing demons in the middle, but whatever.
So they become Necrons, and here we are. All right, and then he'll just smite the team in front. They're the closest, so on a 4, that will fail. That's fine. So that is it for him. Demon Prince is going to try to warp ritual in the center. That goes off on a 10.
Son of a bitch.
So for my warp ritual tally, I'm now up to 1.
Okay.
All right, which is, I think, 3 points or something. It's like 3, 7, 12 or something like that.
Okay.
All right, shooting phase.
It's going to get nasty, fellas.
We're going to do this squad. They're going to put their plasma and heavy bolter into the dread. They're going to be taking minus 1s. It's not the close eligible, so I don't get +1s or anything, so everything's going to be hitting on 4s. So we'll start with the heavy bolter on 4s. Heavy does not explode. They do get to reroll 1s because they're within 6 of the Abaddon. Which of course I roll 2 2s.
Yay!
5s, no win.
Yay!
Plasma, not overcharged.
Listen, chat. I'm trying to do 2 things to stay polite. 1, I'm trying not to breathe heavily in your ear, and then 2, I'm trying to pray for my dreadnought here. Because the thing about it is, look at all this nastiness. Okay, we got the what is this big demon motherfucker?
Demon Prince.
So we got a demon prince in the middle. We got Abaddon, literally the warlord and the main bad guy of the Black Legion and
the boogeyman himself.
Chaos in general. We have these little demon guys that I killed one of them, but he stitched back together his flesh using warp magic, and as a result, he's back on the battlefield. And so what I really need is I need my impulsor to get ripped open and not explode. So hopefully I can get some melee units into the battle next round. And then 2, I need my dreadnought to rinse some of these units off of the battlefield, because if I don't start taking them out, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be very rough. All right, King, what's next?
All right. We'll move on to Abaddon. He advanced, so
You can
he's
fire at a -1,
-1,
which is still 3s.
+1 closest eligible, so it negates that.
Okay.
So he'll be hitting on 2 still. He'll fire in the squad in front of him.
Okay.
It's 4 shots with the Talon of Horus, which is like an assault heavy bolter, and then strength 5. So there's going to be 2 wounds at -1.
Okay, 2 wounds, -1. These are 3s, so -1, 4s. And I fail both times. How much damage is it?
2 each.
2 each. So you have a whole bunch of other shooting coming
I have
in.
a lot of other shooting, yes.
Um,
I have both Obliterators and a Venom Crawler, which are all going to be either 2 damage or more.
Okay, what I'm going to do to try to frustrate it is I will spend a CP in order to re-roll it because I have Thunder Shields in there, and so I want to try to keep my Thunder Shield so I can frustrate your other fire. And I fail it, so I spent a CP and I lost 2 guys. That is unfortunate.
Wait, you have a guy with a shield?
I have 2 guys with Thunder Shields.
So you'll only fail 1.
Okay.
So only 1.
Oh, because it's +1 to your normal roll. Okay, hey, listen, I'll take it. You know, we're about to weather some fire right here, so I'll take it.
Yeah, AP1 still puts you at a 2-up save with a shield.
Right, because it's +1 to your normal save, and then it's a 4++.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, so that's him. The Obliterator is going to shoot at your Dread.
Okay.
We're going to do the big profile. So
Son of a bitch.
D3 shots, so 2 shots. Hitting on 3s, or hitting on 4s, because the -1 because I'm shooting through the thing. Both hit on 4s. It's strength 9, so wounding on 3s. That's going to be 2 at -3.
Son of a biscuit. All right, so he's 3 -3, which would make him 6s, but he's a Leviathan, so he gets a 5+. So I'm going to use my 5+, and I make both. Ha!
All right.
Yes! Oh, I wanted to show chat that, but it was a 6 and a 5, so my homie is still chilling. Still chilling.
If you'd failed both, it would have done 6 damage, because it's 4 damage down to 3.
Nice.
So
I of course would have still paid the CP for Revenge of the Machine Spirit or whatever, but or Spirit, what is it called? Power of the Machine Spirit.
Machine Spirit, yeah.
I would have spent it for that, but at the same time, hey, listen, I'll buy that for $1. That's fine.
Exactly.
Woo!
The other bullet's going to do the same thing.
Okay.
So 3 shots this time, and then 4s. 2 hits, 3s, 1 wound, AP3.
Okay. Let's see if we can get lucky one more time. One more time. 5s. Yeah. Counterpoints dice rolling.
Venom Crawler will just shoot the squad in front of him. So he's going to be hitting on 2s, and 6s explode now because it's turn 2.
Little doggery doos.
Alright, so 3 misses, and then wounding on 3s for strength 6. 2 wounds and AP2 on the squad in front of the Venom Crawler.
2 wounds. 2 wounds, AP2?
Yes.
Okay, then AP2, they're going to be 3-ups because it's the 2-up, or it's going to be the 3-up plus the 1-up, and then you said -2.
Correct. So
it should be
put them back to
4s.
yeah.
4s. 2 4s? Oh, I missed twice.
2 damage each.
2 damage each. So what that's going to do is that is going to kill my last Storm Shield, and it's going to put 1 Terminator down to 1 wound.
Okay.
So we'll do that.
Deal. Alright, vocal blitz of shot, Venom Crawler, Horus, this squad. That squad's doing an action, so they cannot shoot. So we are on to the charge phase.
Okay.
That squad has fight first.
It does have fight first. I did get the
This guy, Veil of Time.
Veil of Time.
Might appears, whatever.
Yep, Veil of Time.
Something.
But Abaddon has fight first as well. So you're the charging unit, so you would get fight first with Abaddon.
Which is the plan. So Abaddon is going to charge in. He gets a 7.
He did not Snake Eyes.
He is in.
If he would have Snake Eyes, I would have left.
He actually gets a free reroll on his charges.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have enough things in his data sheet.
Listen, he's the master of the Black Legion. He's the master of Chaos Undivided. Chaos Primarchs, Demon Primarchs will help him in his mission to fight the Imperium, and they'll literally take breaks from doing warp dust cocaine and building crazy machines and angrily murdering people in the Colosseums of the warp in order to help him out.
Whatever the heck these Primarchs are doing.
Yeah, literally just doing demon things. That's all they're doing.
This is going to charge into the Impulsor. He gets a 10, so he is in.
Okay.
The Possessed are going to do both the Squad and the Impulsor.
Okay.
They get a 6, so they're in.
Okay.
And then the Venom Crawler will just charge the Squad. Just get some movement, and an 8 he's in. So
okay.
Everybody in.
It's about to get nasty, ladies and germs. About to get nasty.
All right, so let me do them first, just because they need to scoot in a certain way. Right.
So my Terminators are going to eat some shit. That's for sure. Subnet player says, "Hey, yo, Connor, keep on doing the 40K stuff. You rock. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you kindly for the comment. You are parasocially loved."
Maybe I'll just tap into here. Just want to get under the cover so he's going to get blasted.
Yeah, so I'm about to absorb 50 bajillion hits.
Okay, so we'll start with Abaddon.
You don't want to charge with your Legionnaires on a 12-inch charge?
They're doing an action.
So right.
Yeah,
okay.
They're locked in place. They cannot do anything. And then with those charges, kind of everything else is sort of boxed, kind of stuck. So we'll need to clear that and then kind of move out in order to get everything else in. So with Abaddon, he gets 8 attacks, plus 1 for Corn, so 9 attacks. For one of his 3 Warlord traits, because he doesn't have enough, he gets D3 additional attacks against Imperium. So he's going to be getting 3 additional attacks.
Why do I have a feeling he's going to wipe the squad by himself?
Yeah, he will.
I literally have, all I have, I have one more Thunder Shield left, or Storm Shield, excuse me. But basically I'm going to take it on the Storm Shield until he fails, and then I just have 5 ups, and then these guys are probably wiped.
Okay, so he's going to be hitting you on 2s.
Mm-hmm.
Re-rolling, 6s do not explode yet, because we're only turn 2.
Okay.
So good thing we're rolling. Alright, so 1 miss. And then these are going to be strength 10. So
versus toughness 4, it's going to be 2s.
Yeah. Fully re-rolling, and then wound rolls of 6 do D3 mortals in addition.
Are you using Dracnian, or are you using his Talon of Horus?
No, I never use Talon of Horus.
Does Dracnian have something where like he like stabs Abaddon?
No, it used to do additional attacks, and then on wound rolls of 1, you do mortals to yourself. they took that away. So that is going to be 10 saves at AP 4. And then 5 D3 mortal wounds in addition.
5d3 mortal wounds in addition. Why don't you just roll your 5d3 mortal wounds and see how many mortals we have? Because
Save the saves. All right, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 mortal wounds.
okay, so 13 mortal wounds. I think I only have 5 guys at 3 wounds each. So 5 at 3 each is going to be
So you'll have
5 times 3. Why can't I do that? I have 15 wounds, and you did 12 wounds, 13 wounds?
13. So 1
13.
alive on 2.
1 is alive on 2 wounds. So I'm literally going to remove everybody except for the Thunderhammer or the Storm Shield. But you're saying he also has to weather the normal attacks.
Correct. So you now have 10 saves at -4.
10 saves at -4.
3 damage.
He is dead, but for the sake of honor, I will roll. I will roll 10 4-ups.
Stand
1,
defiant.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 10 4-ups on the way. We'll do this, and then we'll bring down some demons. Okay, he does not. All right, he loses 3, and I'm assuming they're like D3 wounds
They're
or whatever.
3 each, flat 3 piece.
So even if I was to try to roll 1, he would still get wiped. So he takes like 10 hits to his Storm Shield, but eventually it's too much. He gets knocked down, ripped apart, and even the demons. The demons, the Venom Crawler, everything can continue its onslaught because all the Marines did was serve as a. It's not like a speed bump.
Sort of like a little bump.
They were a speed bump for.
The Possessed will pile in. How many wounds does the Impulsor have? Is it
It's like 10 or something like that. It might be like 11 or something silly, but it's toughness 7. I have a feeling you're going to be able to crack it.
Okay, so we're going with the Possessed. They're going to get 15 attacks.
Okay.
So 5, 10, 15, because only 3 can get in, and that's fine. So hitting on 2s. And then strength 5, so hitting on 5s.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 saves at -2.
5 saves at -2. It's a 3 up. So, sorry, I'm trying to roll and hold the gimbal at the same time. -2, 3 up, 5 ups. If I can do math correctly. I save 1. There's 4 that get through.
That's 8 damage.
8 damage. So we have 3 wounds left.
Okay.
Huh?
And then Demon Prince.
Oh, that wasn't your Demon Prince.
That was the possess. So he gets 7 attacks sitting on 2s.
6s. There's like 5 6s in his roll. Holy crap.
If it was next turn, that
Yeah.
would be 11 hits out of 7 attacks. And then it is strength 7.
I love this stupid game.
It's toughness 7 for the impulsor?
Yeah,
Okay,
toughness
so
7.
4's re-rolling because of his warlord trait. So that's going to be another 5 at -3.
5 at -3. So 5 at -3, I almost guarantee you I'm gone. So it's going to be 6 ups, but I'll just do it for the sake of sport. No, I fail. So do I explode? I do not explode.
I saw the 6. I was like,
yeah.
ah!
All right, so the impulsor is done.
Correct.
I think I have to deploy within like 3 inches of the
Correct,
dead
yeah.
unit or something like that.
Yep.
So I'm going to deploy on the back thing,
Okay.
backfield, out of whatever you call it. Engagement.
Oh,
Well, even if I deployed within engagement, I couldn't fight you, right? I can't
Correct.
fight this phase.
Yes.
Because I'm too busy scrambling out of the
Yes.
destroyed machine.
And then you have to roll. for
Uh-huh.
them, and then if you roll 1s, a model dies.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need 6 dice.
Yep, and you can roll them all together. That way your chapter master doesn't just.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I hope I don't roll any 1s. I've had really good rolls with this kind of stuff. Nope, I'm good.
Okay, cool.
So
All right, so I do get.
all my homies are still alive.
If you want to move back, you can. That way you can charge, because I can consolidate 3 inches that way. So if you want to scoot back
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way I can't. That way I'm still moving forward, but.
My dudes can fire their pistols or fire their whatever and try to clear some things.
And then because of the Demon Prince's warlord trait, he killed a model. He redivides D3 wounds. He's only down 1, so he'll just go back up to 8.
Okay, perfect.
I do get Rise to Glory for that, for killing a vehicle with a character.
Okay.
I'll have to look up, because different wound amounts do different points, so I'll have to look it up later.
Okay.
I will, also because of that secondary, if I roll 2d6 under the wound count, which is it 12 wounds?
For who?
The impulsor.
The impulsor I wanted to say was 11.
11, okay.
We could look it up, but I'm pretty sure it's 11.
Thank God that didn't go very far. I rolled a 5, so I will gain a CP. If I roll 2d6 under the wound count, I gain 1 CP at the end of the battle round.
Nice.
It currently is. So
Very
that's
cool.
it.
Yeah! Connor's turn to kill things.
So I got Retrieve over there,
Yeah.
Ritual in the center, and Kill Thing for Rise of Glory, so we're back on the board.
Heck yeah, boys. All right. So, now the shenanigans start, okay? So, I do have a storm cannon array here that should be able to absolutely nuke some stuff. I have some pretty hardcore melee with both my Watchmaster and my Blade Guard, so I should be able to clear this little area. But there's some problems here. Do you have any units that can deploy?
All of my deep strikes are on the board, the Warp Talons and those guys over
And the
there.
Legionnaires.
Correct.
So what I'm assuming is the Legionnaires are probably going to push this way, try to take out my troops. I could probably take them out in a flurry of attacks, but then what do? I clear a troops unit that is really just going to help out here. So I need to clear the center of the board.
Correct.
And then I need to think of shenanigans to try to offset the game. So what I'm looking for is a place to do my deep strike. I have a chaplain and I have 10 Vanguard veterans that either need to secure my backfield, or they need to deploy in the center, or they need to try to get into the rear. So I'm going to grab the measuring tape and start measuring out 9 inches from all of your units to see if there's any holes that I can exploit. So from a 9-inch perspective, you have out to here basically. So between these 2 units, then we have 9 out to here. So I do have some shenanigans that I can probably get right here, but then I have to make sure that the Legionnaires aren't boxing me out either. And then I have to fit all of my units in here, which I'm very lucky. I do have enough to basically deploy in a corridor right here. Which is also good because I'm deep striking and I don't want to get rinsed off the board with fire if I fail my charge.
The only kind of Auspex scan thing I have is Abaddon.
Okay.
So, and it's
nice.
it's 4 shots, and I'm probably not going to do it. It's
Sweet.
not worth 2 CP.
All right, so I'm gonna put my Chaplain and all his deep strikey boys. I got some Raven Guard boys with some lightning claws so they can rip through some things. I have some boys that look like they're Sanguinary Guard, but totally aren't. They're definitely not Sanguinary Guard. They're just normal Vanguard veterans. They just wear death masks because they think it's hardcore.
Mitchell Johnson says, Abaddon has the Drachnian. Make sure you watch for him.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. My Terminator's going to use that warning a minute ago.
It's about a fight phase too late.
Yeah, and that's like... I think I told George on his way over or whatever, I was like, oh yeah, just so you know, I'm gunning for Abaddon, and now I'm like, I'm good.
And everything else dies so much easier.
Yeah, I would so much rather like take things off the board and murder things rather than just feed units to Abaddon, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. It's like I'm sure I could take off like 3. So how many are we on? Turn 2, turn 3?
Turn bottom of 2 because I went first.
Bottom of 2.
Correct.
So we're at the bottom of 2, and I'm pretty sure I can only do 3 wounds per phase.
Correct.
So I'd have to shoot him, but he's not the closest, so I can't shoot him.
If you move certain units, like if you move your Meltas out behind the Demon Prince, you can shoot him because he's not within 3 of units. And the Venom Crawler's behind him, so you can technically shoot him.
Yeah. So I would technically have to I would have to move out of position, expose myself to the rest of his army, then shoot him, put only 3 wounds on. I would have to get 3 wounds from a smite, which he's not even the closest unit, so I can't do that. Then I would have to get 3 wounds from shooting.
Big Dread. Yep.
Or excuse me, melee. So I'd have to charge in my units too,
Correct.
and look at everything else that's still on the board.
Yeah.
So really,
I think there's too much to clear to really charge him reliably.
yeah. So if I have like 6 victory points in the that were possible to take out Abaddon by himself, yeah, sure, I'd go for it. But the fact that the game here, we're not really trying to kill Abaddon as far as I can tell from the way the primaries and secondaries are. What we're trying to do is we're trying to counter-deploy and fuck up the ritual. That's what we're really trying to do. And we've already sacrificed some pretty powerful units for it, but I think we have plenty left on the board in order to make this count. So, what we're going to do in order to fuck with the plans, because I want to make this as cool as possible.
Just so chat gets an idea, this whole box is just full of big boys with big guns.
Yeah.
So it looks a little worse than it is. He's still got snipers and stuff up there.
Yeah.
Bunch of eradicators and heavy stuff in there. Big Dread. And then all of that melee power in the back, including the Watchmaster.
And a Watchmaster is an absolute fucking buzzsaw.
Yeah.
Like he took out last game he took out a Terminator squad by himself.
That's
awesome.
concerning.
Yeah.
Just so you know, the Demon Prince has a 5-up invuln to melee, 4-up to shooting. So if you get him in melee, his invuln's a little bit worse.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our most powerful shooting. That way we can...
Psychic.
What?
Psychic.
Oh, Psychic. Yeah, so let's just do Smite, and let's do... who has Fight first? Is it only Abaddon?
Just Abaddon, yeah.
Okay, so I'll still do Veil of Time on these guys, and I'll do a Smite.
Okay.
Because I'll do Veil of... So this guy has a Blood Angels Warlord tactic.
Okay.
Warlord trait. So he fights first anyways.
Okay.
But I'll do Fight first on these guys and reroll charges, and then I'll do Smite. So
just in the off chance you roll a Snake Eyes or something, you get a free reroll.
Exactly. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, it's the 1 psychic power I can remember. All right, so I failed my Veil of Time, but that's okay. It wasn't huge. Let's see if we can get a Smite. I do get a Smite on a 9, so I think I do D3 mortal wounds to the closest unit.
Denied from the Demon Prince does not. So
all right, so D3. I do 1 wound to the Demon Prince.
Where's your librarian?
He's in the castle with these guys.
So the possessed might be closer.
That's fine. If you want to give a possessed wound, I don't really care.
1 will be down to 2. I got it.
You do that.
I got it.
Then, all right. Then we're gonna do Storm Cannon in there. Oh, we're gonna do Heavy Flamer. 2 Heavy Flamers.
Yes, do that first.
And Storm Cannons. I'm assuming each Heavy Flamer is D6.
Yeah, D6 auto hits.
Minus 1/1. So 5 auto hits. Strength 5. What's their toughness?
5.
4s.
You got more dice to roll.
Oh yeah.
5.
Sorry. So all right, I got 1 wound and I rolled 1. So
Yeah, 3 more, I think.
Yeah, 3 more wounds. I only get 1 wound, but it's minus 1/1 damage.
It takes it. So guy from on 2 is down to 1.
All right, now we're gonna do the real part of the game. We're gonna do heavy 16, like 7 -1, 2 damage or something. I forget what it is, but it's a lot.
It's gonna hurt.
5, 6. So that's just 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Hitting on 3s because they're right there. And my Watchmaster is right there, so I'm going to re-roll everything. Re-rolls. I drop only 2.
That's concerning. That's not what I wanted to hear.
Well, thank God for the Watchmaster. And then re-rolling, and I do have re-rolls on this too because of my Watchmaster.
They're also, you did fast attacks for your wound rolls of 1?
I did what?
Fast attacks for your wound rolls of 1 at the beginning of the game? The Warp Talons and Venom Crawler?
I forgot, so
Okay.
we'll just keep it moving for now. But this is going to be wounding Strength 7 versus Toughness 5, wounding on 3s.
3s, uh-huh.
And then I have my Watchmaster, so I can re-roll the 1s, which I have 5 1s, so that's a good conversion. And then what was I wounding on? It was toughness 7 -3s. So I think
That's a full house.
It's a full house, and I think it's like -1, 2 damage.
No. All right, so 4s, because they're 3 up. And I'm expecting them to die here. They're three wounds apiece, so that's the 1 on 1 wound is dead.
Okay.
That's another dead. 3. And so
I think you got the rest. So those are all 4s. That's a 5, 5. Yeah, so it's whatever that is.
2, 3 dead, and 2 are alive, and 1 of them is on 1 wound remaining.
Yay!
So the guy with 1 wound, the guy next to him, and then the guy in the front are going to be dead.
Do you want me to pull here?
Yeah.
Pull here.
Yeah, and then because the one with the axe is the sergeant, and then the other one with the helmet is going to have 1 wound remaining.
Okay.
Because the dude with the axe is the champion, so.
Okay, sweet. So we almost wiped these demon bad boy bastards off the map, which is it's a good start.
Just for chat's reference, that's 15 attacks at damage 2 that he just took off the board. So that's very significant.
Yes. Then we're just gonna do pistols because they all have their heavy bolt pistols or whatever. So they
Might
have
as
4
well.
heavy bolt pistols. Pistol 1, I think it's like 5 -1, 1 or something like that.
4 -1/1. The heavy bolt
4
pistols.
-1/1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just gives it AP.
Okay. Then I have 5 dudes hitting on 3s. I hit every time. Then strength 4 versus toughness 5, so I'm wounding on 5s. I wound once.
Reroll 1 because the Watchmaster.
Oh, yeah, true. I wound twice.
That's what I get. All right, 4
Yeah,
ups.
that's what you get for reminding me.
The guy on 1 is dead.
Yeah! All right, then I still have a Guardian Spear, which is basically like a Storm Bolter, but I think it's like 4 -1, 2 damage. So I think it's Rapid Fire 2, so that gives me 4 shots. Still targeting the same squad. I hit every single time. 5s. I only wound once, but I have the rerolls because I'm a Watchmaster. I wound 3 times. So 3 times -1, 2 damage.
And that's into the possessed?
Yes.
He is dead.
Yeah!
Or actually, is he wounded?
He is not wounded.
So he's down to 1 wound remaining.
All right, that's cool. I'll kill him in holy melee combat.
Which is going to be very probable because he has 1 wound remaining and a 5 up invuln. So.
All right, so we have fired all of that stuff. So we are not in coherency with the demon. So I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
I think my fellows can see out the slit into the back of your demon prince.
Yes.
Are you okay with
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, because he also he doesn't have character protection because there's only 1 model next to him. So no matter what, anybody can pretty much shoot him as long as they can see him.
So what I'm going to do, that way I keep this relatively honorable,
Okay.
I'm going to put 6 melta shots into his back.
Okay.
I know that doesn't seem honorable, but I promise it is.
I have stuff I can do for him, so it's not as bad.
All right, so I'm going to do 6. So I have 3 Eradicators in there, so I'm going to put 6 melta shots into his back, and then I'm going to put all of the Bolter Fire into your Legionnaires just for shits and giggles, because I think it's funny.
Okay, so I am going to spend a CP on Grandfather's Blessing because he is a Nurgle unit.
Is that a shrub?
It is a transhuman strap.
Son of a bitch.
Yes.
All right, that's okay. I'm still going to put 6 melta shots into his back and see what we can do. So we're hitting on 3s. We are
Within 6 of the Watchmaster.
within 6 of the Watchmaster.
Yeah!
I
I gotta stop doing that helping stuff.
4, 5, 6 hits. Strength, it's like 8, right?
4s, because the
Is it
transhuman.
9? Are Melta's 9 or they
Strength 8. Yeah, still strength 8.
4s, and then I get my rerolls because of the Watchmaster. I drop 2. So you have 4 Melta shots to defend against.
All right, so I am going to roll these one at a time, just because I fail one.
Fail one.
CP. Fail it. All right, so that's
All right, 1d6.
3d6.
3d6. How many wounds does he have?
Plus 2. He's dead, because no matter what you roll.
5, 8, 10 wounds.
So 16 wounds, because you're in Melta range. So he is very, very dead.
Okay, listen, guys. I promise that was honorable.
No, if you didn't do it, he was getting in there and messing stuff
I'm
up.
gonna
So.
do the Watchmaster, which, by the way, this kind of does open up Abaddon a little bit. So there's still a lot of things that can ruin my day.
Correct.
But at the same time, basically all I need to do is nuke this guy, consolidate 3 inches, and then I'm with an Abaddon. So he can either bravely run away or he can fight me.
Which he will not be doing, because...
Bravely running away or fighting?
No, he'll be fighting, because he's the only one that can score one of my secondaries now. Because the Demon Prince is dead.
All right, so we're going to do 2d3 for the grenade launchers into the Legionnaires. That is 6. I'm not cheating. Look. 6, 5. That is 6 shots.
Stop
2,
it.
4, 6. Hey, they're your dice, man.
I know.
They're rolling for me pretty
Hey,
well.
they're chaos. They don't care from where the blood comes. They
Exactly.
just want it.
6. All right, and then let's check how many guys I have, because I did lose some bolter guys. So 1, 2. I have 3 normal bolter guys left, and I think I forgot to remove one, so I'm going to remove one.
Oh yeah, that's right, because of the heavy bolters.
Yep. So I'm going to do 3 normal bolter shots. They're the heavy bolter whatevers.
Okay.
And then I have the fists. So I have 3 per. So 3, 6, 9, 12. Plus the 3, 15. Plus the 3, that's 18. Plus the 2, 4, 6. So that's 24 bolter shots into the Legionnaires.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, which sounds impressive until I roll, and then it gets cut in half, and then it gets cut in half again. But still, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Drop dice don't count.
So that is bunker
Yeah, I'll give you 4s.
into...
I'll give it 4s because they're behind the hill. So 4s. Okay, and then
they
6
get-
inches for Watchmaster.
Yep.
Dude, I wish I had 6s explode on this. Holy crap!
Then you'd be
That
a
is
chaos player.
lot.
then you'd be a chaos player.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna move these.
Yeah,
but
that's
these
fine.
are all hits.
That's fine.
Okay, re-rolling. Watchmasters are so sick. 1, 2,
Oh my
3.
God.
Dropped.
It's still pretty good.
Dropped. Dropped. It's still pretty good. It literally took it from half hits to 3/4 hits. So that's a pretty solid efficiency bump.
Yeah, Mitchell, I just want you to know I failed, I think, every single one of those Melta saves.
Yeah.
It was 16 damage on 8 wounds, so...
I'm not too worried. I'm very happy, because who wants to face a Demon Prince in melee?
Nobody!
Alright, so wounding, it's like 4s versus 4s, so it's 4s.
Yep.
And then Watchmaster is still within range.
And that's reroll 1s to wound, or...
We can check, but I'm pretty sure he's reroll hits and wounds. So it's the...
I think that... Is that a
it
selected
could be an
unit?
old edition.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
but
because...
the-
Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
But it's the older one
That's
is...
nasty.
It's okay, I dropped some.
Okay.
So I dropped...
And I'm still going to get 3 ups because I'm in cover anyway, so...
Yeah. So it's still... I still convert about half.
Squad's living, it's
But that's
just...
okay.
All right. So 3 up saves because I am in cover. So 1 dead, 2 dead, and 3 dead on the dot.
Okay, sweet.
So that's
I'll
not
take
bad.
it. I think that's solid.
That's not bad at all.
Okay, and then finally,
so
I think I'm close to... It's like 36 inches. As a matter of fact, I'm going to check. I'm going to be dishonorable
Uh-oh.
because if I can...
I don't know.
shoot-
When you were being honorable, you took a Demon Prince out with Melta, so...
Yeah, so hopefully my dishonor can continue. So I'm going to put my snipers my normal snipers into Abaddon because it can only take 3 wounds.
He has Mark of Zeech, so first failed save goes down to 0. So if you have a small gun or something you can plink that with, do that first.
The only guys that are in range are my snipers.
Okay.
So
okay.
It's going to be
the dudes in the front have 24.
Yes. So I'm going to put all that into the Legionnaires.
Okay, yeah, because I think they're out of range.
So
okay.
I'm gonna hit Abaddon with 3 sniper rifles. They can ignore the "Hey Sir, look out" rule. So they'll be hitting on 2s unless he has some kind of modifier.
Nope.
So 2s. I dropped 1, which sucks, but it's strength 5.
Strength 5, so wounding on.
I only wound 1 time, and I think it's like -1/2 damage or something.
All right, so he is a 2-up, so 3-up. Nope.
Yeah!
So Mark of Zeech flips for the turn.
Oh no!
And reduces the damage to 0.
Oh no!
I told you. That's why I said it. If you got a little gun.
I was so excited. I was so excited, and it was for nothing. Son of a bitch. All right, well, whatever. Dropping some blast cannons into some Legionnaires is going to make me happy, so that'll be okay. So let's do 2 las fusils into the Legionnaires, hitting on 2.
Okay.
I hit both times. It's like strength 8, so it's wounding on 2s. I wound both times, and it's -3/3 damage. So you got 2 6s.
So, I have the guys in cover because they're touching that trench, so 5-ups. Oh, I rolled 2 6s.
Shut the fuck up! What the fuck? I don't even know if Jack can see me, but he just saved 2 Legionnaires from getting pulled.
Very badly, because they would have been 2 very dead Legionaries.
Oh, that hurt. I need to go take heartburn meds. That was terrible. All right, 2, 4. I mean, they are just Legionnaires, but still.
Yeah, but those
are some lucky guys.
Yeah, they're melee boys, so if they get in, they can hurt you.
8, 10. All right, so I'm putting bolters into them. They're behind cover enough that I'll say it's 4s.
Okay.
But 6 is auto wounds. There's 1 auto wound, and then this misses.
So that is these infiltrators here.
Yeah. So I
Legionaries here.
only hit a total of 4 times out of 10 shots. I get it was 3. Yeah. So I only get 2 wounds.
Okay. And that's counting the auto wound.
Yes. Okay.
So 1 is on a wound.
1 is on a wound. Okay. Son of a biscuit. All right.
We'll put that on guy back here.
What we're gonna do now is I think I'm down to like 5 CP or something like that, and I can pay 2 CP. And actually, hold on. I'm gonna do canticles for the chaplain. I forgot to do it during the command. Oh, but
he dropped in. Yeah. You can
So-
spend 2 CP or 1 CP, and auto pass one of them if you want.
But I can't roll it because he just deployed.
But it auto passes. It's a stratagem that they have.
Then I'll pay.
I think it's 2 CP unless he's a Master of Sanctity.
I'm gonna pay 2 CP for the give them a chapter trait.
Okay.
And I'm going to give the Vanguard veterans the Blood Angels, which, if I remember correctly, it's -1 to charge and it's reroll charges.
The Blood Angels chapter trait is +1 to wound.
Isn't that if they're charged, or charged? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. Don't they have a chapter tactic that is reroll charges?
I think so. Yeah. It's either that or it's +1 to charges or something like that. Look it up.
Either way, yeah, if you want to Google it real quick, Google it. But either way, I'll either pay 1 CP or 2 CP for the chaplain to give them reroll charges, or I'll give them. As a matter of fact, look it up because that is.
Yeah. Here, if you want to take this first.
Sure. Yeah. Let's look at it. Connor, counterpoints out here trying to cheat, trying to get +1 to charge and reroll charges. Trying to see what it is, but the Deathwatch. So the Deathwatch, for those of you who are unaware, the Deathwatch basically have. Marines from every chapter as a part of their shenanigans. So they can pay 2 CP, if I remember correctly, from the old book. Bear in mind, like 8th, 9th, and the new rules for 10th are all getting mixed into my head all at the same time. But in 8th or 9th, they had like reroll charge +1 to charge for like a chapter tactic, 1 or both of those. And so I'm paying 2 CP to try to get those raptors, because if I can take his home objective and survive long enough just to give him shit, he's going to have to commit some forces back into his home base.
So theirs is +1 to wound, and then while the assault doctrine is active, every time the unit fights, if it made a charge move, a relic, or was charged, they get +1 attacks.
Okay, then let me pay 2 damage for the chaplain thing to give them reroll, because he has like a canticle that's reroll.
Yeah, it's +2 to charge, the Canticle of Hate, I think.
Is it?
Canticle of Hate is +2 to charge and then extra pile in.
Okay.
So it'll be
Let's do it.
it'll be a 7-inch.
So it's 9, so it's 7-inch charge.
Yep.
Please don't fuck up. Please don't fuck up. And it fucks up. God!
Yeah, I mean,
Biscuits!
you spent a CP on it. It is a 7-inch
Okay,
charge. I
I'll
mean,
pay a CP. So I'm paying 3 CP, so I'm down to 3.
and then there we go. You got an 8. There we go. There we go.
Alright, and then I'll charge with my chaplain as well because we don't want to leave him alone. He gets 8, so he fails. So
How far away is he?
He's 9 inches because they all deployed
Oh.
outside of 9 inches of your units.
Well, the Canticle of Hate is characters and core, so he gets it too.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
if,
so
you,
he gets
wanna, if
+2.
you want to help me, I don't care.
Yeah. No, because I do the same thing. I have a chaplain on bike with my Space Wolves, and I do the same thing.
Okay, nice. So we're just going to put them all in, coherency as best as possible. Then, do you consolidate after you charge or whatever?
You pile in, and then,
in.
yeah, so you're with your chaplain aura,
Yeah.
you're going to get a 6-inch pile in.
Okay.
So you're going to have plenty of pile in.
Okay.
And then after, if you wipe the unit, then you get another 6-inch consolidate.
Okay. So let's do this. And so I'm just going to call that 9 inches, even if it isn't 9 inches, then I'll just say 6-inch pylon. So we'll get everybody as close as possible, maybe except for.
This guy is not in coherency, so we're going to scoot him closer. So
Okay,
you can go ahead and
cool.
adjust. I didn't realize he was way out.
That's fine. Let's give my chaplain, and then let's surround my chaplain. That way he can't get shot from weird angles.
It's a good idea. Although you don't have to consolidate him, so you could just move them up forward, so that way they'll be character protected anyway. So.
Cool. Then yeah, so we're gonna let the murder. I do have one more charge, or I have 2 more charges to do. So I have my blade guard into this guy. I'm only gonna declare this guy.
Okay.
Because I don't want to fail the charge and then miss it. So that is a 8.
That's more than
they're
enough.
in. And then I will also do my Watchmaster. Here we go. And Watchmaster. He gets a 6. I think that's in as well.
Yeah, it should be
So
enough.
I'll just consolidate. And then boom. Okay, perfect. Then,
So for those of you watching at home, that guy's dead.
maybe.
He's very dead.
Maybe. So you can pay 2 CP to interrupt, right?
I can.
You can. So what I'm going to do, since that guy's probably dead, but he's very dangerous.
He gets 6 attacks, damage 2 apiece. That guy.
Then, since they're only 2 wounds each, I have more faith in your demon to cause me problems than the Warp Talons. So I'm actually going to kill the demon.
Okay.
So I think like Blade Guard are like 3 attacks each or something like that.
4 shock assault.
Because of
Yeah,
shock
so you get
assault.
+1.
Okay, so I'm gonna kill him with the Blade Guard because the Blade Guard I don't think they've killed anything yet, so I want to make them happy. Get some blood on their weapons.
That's
make
fair.
sure that they have a good day. They have a good day out in the field. Killing things. So it'll be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 attacks on the charge.
8.
Is this for me?
12, yes sir. 12.
Yep.
And then you need 8 more.
All right, and then
The sergeant gets another 1 too.
Okay.
So
6,
So you get 21
8.
attacks.
9. All right, and then are they 2+ or 3+? I forget.
They are 3 up, 5 up.
For
the Blade Guard, for the
Blade Guard
weapon skill 3, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, that is lame. But they do
Yeah.
have 21 attacks, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
And
they have the Watchmaster.
And the Watchmaster, so they should be okay.
So I drop a whole bunch, but we have the Watchmaster. And if you're allowing me to do re-roll hits and
Go for
wounds,
it.
because that's what it was,
Go for it.
at least in 8th it was. Here we go. Re-roll for 3s. I drop a few, but it should still be enough. So if I remember correctly, like swords now it's like user +1.
Yeah, so strength 5.
5.
So 4s.
And then re-roll because of Watchmaster.
Well, here, before you do that.
Yeah, you're just gonna take all the ones that are there.
Is he wounded?
No.
Okay,
He's
so-
the sergeant. He was by himself.
He's dead.
Okay, cool. I'll take it. Listen, I'll take it.
He's only got 3 wounds, so if I fail 2, he's dead. So there you go.
Alright,
And
so-
then you get 3 inches to consolidate
So to the nearest model.
to the nearest
correct?
model, yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't think I necessarily want to consolidate. I think I just want to make it a screen
That's a good idea.
for my Watchmaster. That way, if you charge my guys, I can heroically intervene, but you can't, unless you declare me,
Correct.
you can't get me. That's a lot of stress. Do you want to pay 2 CP to interrupt for
I am going to pay 2 CP to interrupt.
Okay,
I'm
I'll
also
hold it so you can roll your attacks without having to worry about the gimbal.
I am also going to spend a CP on Death of the False Emperor.
Uh-oh.
And that was going to let me reroll this because I don't get +1 because you charged me.
Okay.
So they're going to get 26 attacks. It is the bottom of turn 2.
Yep.
So no exploding 6s. Much to your delight.
So, Chad, I hope you're having a good time because I am having a great fucking time. Killing Chaos has got to be like... I think the only thing that would be more fun with Deathwatch is killing Xenos, but killing Chaos is pretty fucking great. So, I'm having a good-ass time. Plus, I'm facing off against Abaddon and all his little demon bastards, and I pulled off a sweet charge move in the backfield, so now he has to contend with me while I'm still able to rip him apart with some units that are still on the board, and I got my little castle back here, so he can charge me if he wants, but...
So, 26 attacks, hitting on 3s, rerolling.
Jesus.
Because I spent the CP on Death to the False Emperor.
So I need to save some things.
So all of these hits, I'm just going to scoot them over.
Excuse me.
So we dropped 2, so 24 hits.
Jesus.
And then wounding on 4s, re-rolling because of the lightning claws.
You're lucky I don't love my Vanguard bros as much as I love my Blade Guard bros.
Drop a ton, but we get to re-roll.
And these are lightning claws, so are they toughness 4 or strength 5 or 4?
Strength 4.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're just strength user, and they're only 1 damage each.
Okay.
Still dropped a bunch.
What's the deal with the 10th edition? Will I need a new codex and stuff? No, Leo Whitmer. Actually, the good news is they're kind of being merciful gods with 10th edition. So you don't need new codexes. You just need the online rule set. Yeah, so it's going to be an online rule set, and also a lot of the things that you think should be better are going to get better. So, for instance, like Terminators are toughness 5. The vehicles are going up in toughness, so they're harder to take out.
A Rhino is toughness 9.
Yeah, a Rhino is toughness 9. So you'll still be able to like nuke Rhinos with like las cannons and meltas and stuff, but basically your bolt weapons are going to be useless against vehicles, which they already kind of are, but it's going to be even more useless. So chances are your vehicles are going to survive until like turn 3 or 5. So you know that's kind of cool because it does feel a little bit silly to have vehicles just getting like ripped to shreds left, right, and center, but. At the same time, it does make the game more dangerous because right now, because I concentrated my anti-tank fire on the Demolisher, which there's a Demolisher-shaped hole right about here, you know, I still have some armor that can do some damage, and then he's basically ripping through me on melee. Yeah, that was the hole. That was the hole that I shaped. But the good news is I have enough gun and enough melee that I've been able to withstand the storm so far. So we'll see how it goes. So how many wounds do I have to?
13 at -2.
13 at -2. So I have 5 dudes who have storm shields. So and it's -2.
Correct.
So they would still they would go down to a 2+, but then it would go up to
a 4.
To a 4.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll 5 4s and see how many I save. I save 2, I drop 3.
That's 1 damage each.
So I kill 1.5. So I'm gonna take out a sword bro, and I'm gonna take out another.
He's not dead. He's on 1 wound because it only did 3, so 2 and 1.
Yeah. So sorry.
Yeah. So he's not dead.
So one guy's on 1 wound.
So he'll be down to 1.
And then we still have these to go. So I have 4 left.
So another 8.
I'm gonna do 4 at
4-ups.
on 4-ups. And I save 3, drop 1, he's dead.
So he's dead.
And then I have to do another 4?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. No, I think because I started with 5, then I did 4, that's 9, plus 4 is 13.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and I only have 3 dudes left to take the hits. So I need 3 4-ups. I drop 1, and then I need to roll 1 more, and I drop 2, so you kill 1
Another
more.
1 dead. Okay.
So the good news for me is that he killed my bodyguard, except for the Thunderhammer.
It's fine.
So, all right. So we're gonna do lightning claws right back at you because fuck you. That's why. So I think their attacks 2, right? But they have shock assault, so it's 3.
Do they have 2 lightning claws or 1?
They have 2 lightning claws.
So they're gonna get.
5 of them have 2 lightning claws.
So they're gonna get 2,
Yeah.
plus 1 for shock assault, plus 1 for each claw, so 5.
Nice. So 5 attacks for one guy. So this is 25 attacks just for the lightning claw guys.
Well, it was like that's why like I was telling him before the game, like they took shock assault away from chaos and just gave it to our data sheets. So like the warp talons have 5 attacks just naturally.
No
like
way.
The lightning claws don't give +1 attack anymore. It's just a bunch of attacks.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 25. 25 on 3s.
It's hurt. It's gonna hurt.
I don't have any Oh wait, I have my chaplain. But I didn't do my canticles.
Yeah, you did the charge one, which is probably a better choice coming out of Deep Strike.
Yeah. So I do drop them, but next time I'll have reroll
hits. Yeah, that's nasty.
All right, then I have so it's strength versus toughness the same, I think.
Correct. So 4s, and then you get to reroll everything.
Why do I get to reroll everything?
Lightning claws.
They reroll?
Yeah, lightning claws reroll all wound rolls.
Sweet.
Which makes them super nasty.
Nice. All right. I do drop a whole bunch, but I do get a healthy chunk. I think I converted like 7 or 8, so that's what I converted.
Okay. So 1 damage each, AP 2. So we're gonna be at our 5-ups.
And then I'll steal that one for you.
Thank you. Not great. So 1 dead, 2 dead, and 1 is at a wound. That was a 6 and knocked. So 2 are dead and 1's at a wound. So
okay. So and then we have 1.5 left, or 3.5, or 2.5 left.
Yeah. Where's the chaplain?
Chaplain's right here.
So we're gonna pull him, and him. So that way.
Son of a biscuit!
Actually, he is down to 1 wound. So that way your chaplain cannot fight me.
Okay. So this sucks. Okay. So
you still have your Thunderhammer and all that stuff too.
Okay.
So
because I was using the unit.
This unit, yeah. So the chaplain cannot, but the rest of the unit stuff can still hit.
Okay. So cool. So I have 1 sword and 1 thunderhammer.
I would go sword first because the sword's 1 damage, right?
Right.
So because he has 1 wound left, go with the sword first. That way you're not wasting a thunderhammer.
And that should be 3 with shock assault.
Yes, because 2 plus 1.
Hit twice.
And then 3s.
Oh, sorry. Drop dice don't count. 2 wounds.
Minus
AP, whatever a power sword is.
AP 3 or 4, so 5-ups. Save them both.
Dang it. All right, that's fine. This is the sergeant with a thunderhammer, so he's going to have 4 attacks. He only hits once, though, but he's strength times 2.
So 2s.
2.
There you go. All right, AP.
Minus a bajillion. It's like minus 3, 2 damage or something like that.
Yeah, it'll be.
Oh, sorry.
There you go. I was like, where is it? Nope.
Yes.
So the 1 on a wound is dead. Boop.
So we got 2 warp talons left. And then I'll just consolidate so it's more dudes can fight your dudes next turn.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, and then I'll just scoop my chaplain in close. That way, hopefully you can't snipe my dudes. And then I think that's it.
Yep.
I think that's it. We have fought the good fight. The Legionnaires, I will summarize for chat. So we are bloody at this point. So we have Legionnaires left over here who completed their action, but they can basically harass my forces in the backfield. That's like the main thing they can do. I have a full unit of Gravis Terminator-y dudes and a Primaris Librarian in here. Terminator Librarian, excuse me. I have my snipers who can probably get harassed by the Legionnaires. I have the center battle with Abaddon, and then I have the Venom Crawler and the Obliterator and a whole bunch of troops in the center. And then I have harassed his backfield. So basically, I think it's going to come down to fighting over the center. And then your backfield, and then we'll see how that goes, and then you can of course harass me on the flanks. So it's a scary game. We have a lot of dead. My Terminator squad got wiped. Remember the Fallen and all that stuff. My Impulsor is gone. I've lost some Gravis dudes, but then I've also wiped a nice coterie of demons and troops and warp talons. So and a Demolisher. So I'm actually feeling. Not perfect, but I'm feeling pretty happy. I got to kill Chaos Forces this day. It's a beautiful day. So, Mr. George, what is your move? What are your moves, plural?
So what we're going to do, we are going, because I can advance in Psychic, I can't fall back in Psychic. So I'm probably going to advance the Master into the center.
Okay.
Do Warp Ritual.
Okay.
Probably fall these guys back here.
Okay. So you can shoot him, you son of a bitch.
Take these legionaries over here, shoot and charge into this, try to clear it up.
Yeah.
Take those possessed over there and do the retreat in the corner.
Okay.
Because I haven't done it in that corner yet. And then kind of move the Blitz forward, move the Venom Crawler forward. Take Abaddon, because he's infantry, you can just walk right through that bunker, and he's going to probably charge both your Watchmaster and the Dreadnought.
Ugh. Because those are my big threats.
Yeah, well, he actually might charge one this turn and then try to kill something next turn.
Uh-huh.
That way I can score my secondary.
All right, chat. I'm sorry, but I am sitting down. We are getting tired. It is...
It's a battle of wits. It's going to be... It puts me in a spot because it's like, do I warp ritual or do I revive models? Because I kind of need to do both right now.
Yeah.
And it puts me in kind of a pickle, but we will get it figured out. All right. In the command phase, Abaddon's going to give full rerolls to himself.
Okay.
Because he's greedy and he can.
He's also an absolute fucking beatstick, so...
Yeah, he's not a nice guy. We're going to move you here. The Venom Crawler can move 12, so the Venom Crawler is going to... Venom Crawler will wait for Abaddon to move. Abaddon moves 6, so he can move straight into here.
And then he has an easy charge.
So, as Mark as each of them. And his moves. Then the Venom Crawler, I don't know what the one is. I think that was just from something that died.
Yeah, I think it was from the demons.
He's going to go here. This Oblit is going to pop over here. Do I want to... Yeah, I kind of need a retrieve in this quarter, so these guys are going to move 9 just to be kind of over here. So they're holding within 6 of the table quarter, and they are going to retrieve battlefield data on this side. I will have to roll for it because there are only 5 models in their elites, so I'll have to roll a 5. I think I have to roll the number of models. I'll double check it when it gets down to time to do that.
Okay.
These guys are just going to march on over to here to do obvious things. I think I owe you a morale test for these guys.
How many did you lose?
I lost 3.
I don't care. Because you're going to like roll... What? You'd have to roll a 6 to lose any, and then you'd have to roll the other ones?
Their leadership 8, I lost 3, so I can fail. Yeah, it would be a 6.
Yeah, I don't care. It's fine.
Okay.
They're Chaos Legionnaires. They should be pretty happy and proud to be... See, here's the thing. So I'm feeling really good because I keep like nuking shit with like meltas and, gunfire and just killing demons and all that kind of stuff. But the truth is that they've recovered data from 3/4 of the battlefield, and they've also done a warp ritual in the center. So even if they're not victorious this day, they still communed with the warp creatures that they need to commune with in order to at least get enough intelligence to hunt further. So they're doing pretty stinking good today. Oh yeah. So good for him. I'm worried about Abaddon one-shotting. Yes, they do.
That could be an issue. All right.
And they have storm shields.
Yeah. The AP, anything I put into them is going to be AP 2 or higher, so it's all going to be invulns on that. So it was more of the wounds because of the damage. The Oblitz can do either 4, 2, or 1 damage, depending on what profile they pick.
Yeah, so we are at, I don't know how tops or bottoms work.
You're at top of 3.
Top of 3. So we've completed 2 turns, and we might want to add up points just to make sure that we're tracking them.
Yeah, I have a note with the secondaries in it, sort of. So at the end of my turn, I'll go ahead and add it.
Cool.
Okay, psychic phase. Because it's 3, I have turn 4 and 5. I'm going to not warp ritual this turn. I'm going to do psychic powers. So I'm going to do Pact of Flesh on the guys all the way over there.
Okay.
So that goes off on a 7. That is going to heal the 1 to full and revive a model. So do you want to deny that?
What's the other powers you're doing?
I have the Cursed Earth Aura for the Demonkin to 5 up save to a 4 up. And then I also have a Smite, which is probably going to be going into the Blade Guard guys.
I'm going to save it for the smite. Go ahead.
The one's on 1 wound, it heals D3, so he's just back to normal. And then one of the chain swords will be Necron moving over to here. just to make my charge a little bit easier.
Just imagine that one of these legionaries ripped apart by bolter fire and sniper fire and all that kind of stuff. His flesh stitches together in holy, or unholy really, like green, blue warp flame. And he comes, piling back into the battle because the dark gods are not done with him yet.
I'm actually not going to fall back here. I was going to fall back. I'm not going to. I'm going to leave them there.
Okay.
So, continuing the cycle phase.
Gonna try to beat me to death?
Cursed Earth. Well, I'm going to be charging the Legionaries. I'm hoping the Legionaries can kill enough to where...
It actually becomes an even scrap in the backfield.
You know what? I am going to fall back. If you don't mind, I'm going to...
Yeah, go ahead.
Fall back. Because that way the Legionaries can shoot. Because if not, then they have a heavy bolter, plasma gun, a couple other...
Listen, my blade guard got blood on their swords. They are ecstatic. They're happy. They're happy Marines. Even if they die to Abaddon or to this dude over here, this Oblit over here, or the Venom Crawler, they got blood on their weapons. They're ecstatic. Watchmaster should be able to survive a round. Dreadnought should be able to survive a round. Also, he's got heavy flamers, so if you charge him, he'll be able to put some flame on him. Then
Cursed Earth.
Yeah, and then we did kill 2.5 or 3 warp talons. So
Cursed Earth goes off on an 8, so that does go off. That's the 6-inch aura.
Okay.
And then he'll smite into the Blade Guard. Goes off on an 11.
On an 11, is that a super smite?
It is.
Shit. So I got to roll boxcars to prevent D6 wounds. Boxcars. Almost. I got 9.
Right, watch me.
Uh-oh, D6.
I don't know which one.
Drop dice doesn't count. 5. All right, so that kills 1.5.
That's
So
okay.
who is, you know what? Ultramarines always get the glory. I'm going to remove the Ultramarine, and I'm going to put the Salamander down on 1 wound.
I will take it.
Because he is my coolest, as a matter of fact, I'm going to show you chat that guy. He is one of my coolest dudes. He's got like a dragon helmet and a thunder hammer and storm shield and all sorts of crazy shit. So he's pretty cool.
Okay, so the Obliterators are going to do their shooting. We're into the shooting phase now. So we're going to do the one there into the Blade Guard.
Okay.
I'm going to do the small profile. So it's D6 plus 9 shots.
So it's going to be a dickload of shots.
Yeah, it's going to be 11 shots.
Yep.
it's 5 AP, 1 damage.
Okay.
So 6, 8, 10, 11. So hitting on 2s because it's close eligible. No explosions because we are not in turn 1. And then wounding on
Their toughness 4.
3s, 5. Ooh, not that great. So it's going to be 4 at AP 1.
Okay, 4 AP1.
So 3 ups.
3 ups, 4 3-ups coming your way. Do not fail any. I don't want to lose any Blade Guard to small arms fire. I fail 1. That will kill the 1, but I'm going to go ahead and... Well, hold on. What other fire do you have coming in?
I have another Obliterator, the Master Possessions Pistol, and the Venom Crawlers.
I'm going to go ahead and take it just so I can prioritize the survivability of the Dreadnought.
Okay.
So I'm sorry to you, Mr. Salamander, but you have to take a nap.
Okay. The other Obliterator is going to fire into the Dreadnought. Actually,
Okay.
he'll do the... the Dreadnought's the closest, so he'll do that.
Okay.
You reduce damage, so he'll do the big profile. So D3 shots, 3 shots. I am shooting through the woods, so hitting on 3s. 2 hits, strength 9, so wounding on 3s. So 2 at AP 3.
2 at AP3. He gets 5 ups because he's a Dreadnought, or he's the Leviathan. I save 1, fail 1.
So that is 4 down to 3 because you're a Dreadnought.
Okay, so I think he's like 11 or 12 or something like that. So he's like,
Leviathans have more.
really?
Like 16.
Okay, well then I'm down to 13 wounds.
We'll look it up later. We'll look it up.
He's not bracketed.
once Abaddon charges in, we'll see how much damage Abaddon does. If
Yeah.
it's less than 10, we will look up the wounds. 'Cause then it'll matter. But so the Legionaries over there are actually going to shoot their guns into the guys in the center of the bunker.
Okay, fair.
So we have a plasma and rapid fire and a plasma pistol. I'm not overcharging, so I'm going to shoot them both at the same time.
Okay.
So hitting on 3s. 1 miss, and then wounding on 3s. 2 at AP 3. So AP 2.
AP2.
It's AP 3 down to 2 because you're in cover.
Yeah.
So 5 up.
So I'm gonna hold on. You're shooting the guys in the bunker.
Correct.
Okay. So what is it? Sorry. What am I?
AP 3 down to 2, so 5 ups.
5 ups.
Just 1 damage each.
Okay. I fail both. So I'm going to take it. I think the Gravis are 3 wounds each.
There.
So I'm gonna lose 1, and 1 will be down to like 1 or 2 wounds. I forget what it is.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh, crap. No, I finally broke a model. It's all right. I haven't broken a model in like 3 or 4 games, so to be honest, it was about time.
All right, bolt pistols. 2 hits, 1 explosion, because pistols explode now, turn 3. And then 5s. 1 wound, no AP.
Okay.
2 ups.
Hiya! Left-handed roll, and I got a 5. All right.
All right, Reaper chain cannon.
Ah, son of a bitch.
6, 8, so these are going to be hitting on 4s.
Is this the auto or is this the minigun? What is this?
It's like a minigun.
Okay.
Yeah. The auto cannon is less shots, 2 damage. This is more shots, 1 damage. So
Right.
Strength 5, so winning on 4s.
So just in case you're not paying attention, the Legionnaires here, they are firing into the bunker. They are chipping away at my heavy unit. But the good news is, I still have my Meltas.
You have 1 save at -1.
1 save, -1. So 4s. Yay!
Cool. Okay. The Venom Crawler is going to shoot into the Blade Guard or fight first, right?
Yes, they are, because they got the psychic power off.
Okay, so the Venom Crawler will go ahead and put his shots into them, just because I want the charge to be a little less painful for me.
Mm-hmm.
Hitting on 2, 6s explode, so all hit and 2 explosions.
Okay.
And then winning on 3s, because strength 6. Drop 1, so it's going to be 7 at AP 2.
7 at AP2, son of a bitch!
2 damage each. Yeah, so the exploding 6s.
-2. So are they 3s in cover, so they're 2s, and then -2, so they're 4s?
The Blade Guard, I don't think they're in
Oh, no, they're not in cover. They're just 4s. So 4 ups. God damn it, are you going to wipe the squad?
Probably not.
I wanted to assassinate your guy. So is it 1 damage each?
2 damage each.
2 damage each, so that's...
One's down.
Okay. So, I love these guys, though. It's all right, Dark Angels. I don't like Dark Angels as much. All right, then we'll just say my definitely not an Emperor's Children. My definitely not Emperor's Child is down to 1 wound.
Okay, the Legionaries here.
Mm-hmm.
The level all they're shooting into the Vanguard vets.
Okay, you did fall back?
These guys did not. The Warp Talons did fall back into the woods there.
Okay, fair.
They moved 12, so they flew off like...
Oh, you bastard!
They flew off like...
Come back here!
Alright, so I have a plasma gun here in rapid fire. So I am going to supercharge.
Oh, come on!
Both hit, no explosion. And then winning on 2s. Both wound AP 3.
God. All right, I have 2 more storm shields left.
These are 2 damage each, so you might want to do them 1 at a time.
All right, 1 at a time. 4 up. Yeah! No!
I do have a heavy bolter and then a bunch of pistols coming in too.
Okay, so thunder or storm shield is gone.
Okay, heavy bolter. 3 shots hitting on 3s.
3 shots hitting on 3s.
1 miss and then 3s. 1 more AP1.
1 more AP1. Yep. I'm gonna take this on a normal dude. Just a lightning claw guy, so it'll be a 4 up. And I fail.
2 damage.
Okay, so I lose 1 more.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pistols, and then a bolter. I'm gonna do all of them together.
Listen, guys, I was really confident pulling back into here. I was like, oh, I'm gonna take his objective. I'm gonna weather all the bolter shots. I'm gonna, soak it up, and I'm gonna steal his home objective and kill all his guys. And instead, what happened is the Warp Talons flew off, making me look like an asshole. And then now I'm just eating bolter fire. Which, by the way, Black Legion are supposed to be pretty tactically minded. They're supposed to be pretty smart. So, they wouldn't be like Khorne guys who are like, no, stay in combat. It's, it's pussy to run away.
All right, so what I did here, I did all the pistols. The pistols explode this turn, so I rolled them separate. I got 2 explosions, so those are the hits and explodes for the pistols. I'm going to roll the bolters, because there's a guy with a bolt gun.
Is it all the same strength or whatever?
Yeah. So 1 miss, and then all of them are wounding the same. That's why I just did them all together.
Okay.
But the bolt gun does not explode, the pistols do explode. So you gotta roll it separate. And then wounding on 4s. Oh, that wasn't very. That was only 2 wounds out of 12.
Sweet.
And those are no AP.
Okay, sweet. So 2 3-ups. And then I'm going to change dice that aren't on 1s. As a matter of fact, I'll take your beautiful dice. All right, cool. Save. And then, yeah.
I think that's it for guns for the squad.
Okay, sweet. So you're charging?
Yeah, I'm not going to bother shooting the Master Possession's pistol. It's just a bolt pistol.
Okay,
so.
Can you hold this real quick? Because
Sure.
I'm going to go grab some heartburn meds. That way I'm not burping in chat's ears.
Yeah, which is always a good time. I will tally up the score or try to anyway. So we got 10 legionaries charging into this mess. We've got a couple legionaries charging up and over to this mess. Venom Crawler and Obliterator into the Blade Guard, and then
Abaddon into the Dreadnought.
Abaddon into the Dreadnought.
Nice. So, if... Oh, no, you're charging so you can still fight first, you son of a bitch.
I can.
And if I pay 2 CP to interrupt, then I'm down to 1 CP, which means I can re-roll 1 thing and then I'm done.
Yes.
Son of a biscuit.
All right. How many CP do you have?
I think I have 3 left.
Okay, so you can still Overwatch with the Dread and then...
Yeah, and then interrupt, but then I'm tapped out. So...
That's not good. You know what? I might try something a little crazy.
Mm-hmm.
This is...
Oh, you're going to absorb it with the...
It's an 11 minus 1, so it's a 12-inch charge.
So 11 minus 1. Do I have to declare Overwatch before you roll?
You do.
Yeah, then, and you said it's an 11?
Yeah.
I'm not going to declare
It's a
Overwatch.
12.
I'm
So
not...
It's a minus 1, so I have to roll a 12 to actually make
Okay, I'm not going to roll.
which I don't.
Okay, thank God. Dude, if you got a 12 and then I lost Overwatch and then you one-shot a Dreadnought, I'd be fucking furious. Like, obviously it's great tactics. Like, it's great tactics, but that would still piss me off to no end.
Abaddon into Dreadnought. He's in with a 7.
Okay.
So he is going to go over this
Okay,
way.
so I, just for the sake of trying, I'm going to declare Overwatch. It's going to be 2D. It'll cost me 1 CP. It'll be 2d6 hits. I'm going to use the black dice because they've been treating me really good.
Yeah, they have been.
Yeah,
They
so
really have.
I'm gonna think about high numbers, and that doesn't quite feel right. That feels about right. All right, let's try 2d6. Ha! 4. Wow.
4 auto hits. He is T6. So
The-
you're moving on 5.
Moving on 5s. So sorry, it's 4 hits. So T5.
And you have your Watchmaster.
Yeah, so I guess I re-roll. And I get 3 out of it, which actually
Not bad.
not bad.
He does have Mark of Zeech, so...
He ignores the first one.
Yep, so 3s. So you peel it and do 1 wound.
Okay, cool.
And then you have your 16 big Boomba shots.
Okay. Oh, shit, I do have 16 Boomba shots. Since I have 16 Boomba shots, can you hold the thing? Because I have to get a bajillion dice.
So you can do 2 more wounds this phase,
Yeah.
and then that is it.
4...
For those of you watching at home, Abaddon is what's called phase capped, so he can only take 3 wounds per phase.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Which, like, hitting on 6s is still not great,
Yeah.
but when you have 16 shots, you might be able to
Well,
convert.
and you get to fully reroll all hits, right? Because of
Yes,
the Watchmaster?
Watchmaster.
So it's not bad.
So I think there's another strat too that I can't afford right now, but I think there's another strat where you can pay to hit on 5s. I forget what it is, and I can't afford it right now, so it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
especially if you want to interrupt, it's probably not worth it.
Yeah. Okay, I do convert 6,
Ugh.
and I think it's -1, 2 damage.
What's the strength of it?
Strength 7.
So you're-
oh, sorry, I only rolled hits so far.
Yeah, so you're
So
wounding
7s
on 3s.
versus 3s? God
7 versus 6.
damn it. But I still can re-roll because
Correct,
of the,
because of the
Watchmaster. I convert them all, so I do get 2, 4, 3, 4. Yeah, I do get 6.
Okay, what's the AP?
-1, 2 damage.
All right, so 3 ups. Nope, so he'll take his 2 more wounds if you can just put him down to 5, I believe.
Sweet.
And he is at 5.
Hopefully you don't one-shot my guy. I mean, you probably will, but...
Yeah, we'll see.
yeah, we'll look at the Leviathan wound stats in a second.
If anything can, it's him.
Yeah.
We'll do, if you want to go and grab that, I'll
Yes.
do the rest of my charges.
Oh my god, this is like the sexiest game ever. Like, I love playing Seamus with the, to the people, we have like 25 people here, and we had like 30 people for, Seamus's thing where the camera was all shaky. I love playing Seamus, but this just feels so much more epic where I actually have a shot. I'm saying there's a chance.
Venom Crawler into Blade Guard.
Okay.
He gets an 11.
Son of a biscuit.
I am going to put him this way because I want him to have the better invuln from him.
Okay, Overwatch with bolt pistols.
You've already...
I'm just kidding.
No, you don't. You're cracker now. The Oblit will try a charge into there as well. He gets a 6, I don't believe. If you can pass me the tape measure, I don't think
Sure.
6 is going to be him.
Yeah.
6 would put me, actually, 6 would put me here. Yeah, so 6 is just what I needed.
Nice.
So he does have 4 power fist attacks.
I don't know what my heroic intervention is, but I think that's more than 3 inches. So
3. So actually, if you're feeling a little chaotic, I've got a nice little boop. So
we're outside.
Yeah, there you go.
It's fine.
All right.
We'll leave it. Oh, and then you charge sideways, so I couldn't heroically intervene into my dreadnought. You son of a bitch.
Well, that way I can consolidate because I need to kill him in a different turn.
Right.
Rise to glory. Because this thing is going to be like 4 points, and that's going to be 5 on my kill because he's your warlord.
Nice.
So
I'm definitely not going to bravely run away.
Yeah, and that secondary maxes at 5 per phase or 5
Yeah.
per turn. So I can't score more than 5, so I don't want to overkill over there.
Right.
The legionaries over there into your squad.
Which is going to be like a 5-inch charge.
Less. I got a roll of 3.
I would still call it. That's fine.
Yeah, because the one into the wall.
Yeah, I would say I can pull from the front or whatever.
I'm gonna spend a CP and re-roll the charge.
Okay. I won't argue.
Just because I need
To get into better position.
7.
Seven.
So everybody's in.
Yeah, so I would say you can do whatever, but I just move them within touching.
If you would, there's a 1 in the trench that goes on the guy on the end. He's wounded.
Okay. Very cool.
Or no, actually, we packed a flush, so he's revived. So it heals D3 and then revives the model. And then, of course, these guys in the vanguard. That's
So, Chad, I hope you've noticed that I've let the dogs in and out like 7 fucking times. Look at these stupid bastards. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them being stupid. I mean, they're beautiful. I love them so much, but holy crap. So, but I do want to thank Leo Whitmer for the dono. If anybody else has any dono dollary dues, basically what's happening is my wife and kid are down at the Science Center right now. They're hanging out, playing games, having fun, all that kind of crap. But they're giving us the house today so we can play the games. My baby, my second child, my son, will be here in the next like 3 weeks. And then I am going to be taking 8 weeks off. And normally I get commission paychecks for doing my sales job. Live streaming will be my commission paycheck. So if you want me to eat anything besides ramen, your money is appreciated. Of course, if you don't have any money, just watch and give me advertising dollary dues, either through your YouTube Premium subscription or through just watching ads during random breaks. So give what you can. I appreciate you. Love you. Oh, also, let's shout out sponsors real quick. So Death Ray Designs gave me some terrain. We are not using any of their terrain today, but they do have very cool terrain I'll feature on the next battle report. This is all stuff that I basically hand built from kits and all that kind of crap. Then Mastermind Models and Miniatures is a paint studio out of Huntsville, Alabama. They do beautiful work. So, basically if you go to their website and you're trying to get stuff painted because you don't want to do it yourself, then they're an excellent resource that can help you out. So tell them that Counterpoint sent you over, gets your stuff painted. And then finally, Liber Demonica, they are not paying us any money, but literally like 30% of my army for kit bashes has Liber Demonica bits. So it felt incorrect to not shout them out. So check out Liber Demonica. These bits for this awesome Leviathan Dreadnought are from Liber Demonica, and the paint job is from Mastermind Models and Miniatures. So, check them out. Check out our sponsors. Give us money. Watch the advertisements.
All right, so we're going to start here.
Okay.
So the Black Legion models are going to go into your chaplain. The Iron Warrior contingent is going to go into your vanguard bits.
Okay.
So
my chaplain does have a 4+ Rosarius.
That is fine. I'm hoping volume will kill him. We will see.
I am hoping that I survive and I beat you to fucking death.
So 4 attacks per chainsword. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in range. So 16 attacks. 4, 8, 12, 16. These are going to be hitting on 2s because I charged you.
Oh, hold on. I have my last 2 interrupt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay... This is not ongoing combat, right?
This is a charge, yes.
Okay.
There was nothing in ongoing.
Okay, then...
So after this first activation, you can pay 2 CP, and anything that was charged can interrupt.
Cool, let's do that.
Yeah, because I don't have any fight last or anything, so you don't have anything that's not ineligible. All right, so these are into the chaplain, and then I have the heavy axe afterward.
Okay.
So these are hitting on 2s, and then 6s explode. So I missed 2, but have 5 explosions.
Excuse me.
And then these are strength 5 because it's corn. So AP. So it'll be strength 5, so wounding on 3s.
Oh, this is pissing me off. So he's got all these classic, basically 30K Iron Warriors models, and he's got some Legionnaires models that are a little bit classic, but some of them are sized. And then I have my like Custodes kit bashed chaplain with a beautiful jump pack, and I have all my Primaris sized, beautiful dudes, and they're about to get dragged down by these fucking Space Marine manlets. It's pissing me off.
13 at AP2 from Chainswords.
13 at AP2 from Chainswords?
Mark of Corn with an icon.
All right, you hold this, because my chaplain might literally get ripped down right now.
Yeah, and then after that, we've got a heavy chain axe from this little fella. This little fella.
Okay. So hold on. So -2. He normally has a 3 up, so he's going up to a 5 up, so it's 4s.
Just force.
13, 4 up, and I think he only has
5 wounds? 6 wounds?
4 wounds. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think
he's down.
I think he has 5 wounds. I think the chaplain's have 5. Or is he a firstborn?
He's firstborn.
So yeah.
So
he's
it's
probably
4
dead.
wounds. So he's down. But how about instead of paying 2 CP to interrupt, I want to do the narrative thing. Do I want to do the narrative thing? I don't want to do the narrative thing. I'm going to be tactical. You're tactical, I'm tactical. I'm just going to take my chaplain out.
Okay. And then I have Power Fist, Chainsword, and then 3 gun butts going into the Vanguard.
And I'm going to pay 2 CP to interrupt, and I'm going to hit you first.
They are the same unit. That's
Who's
all
the same unit?
This is all one.
Oh,
one
so you
big
have the
unit.
primary?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
then
yeah.
I'm going to be narrative.
Here.
Let me do my narrative.
Fight on death.
Fight on death. So
think-
I'm going to pay my last.
I think that happens at the end. So I think I fight into your guys, and then you would fight on death.
Okay, that's fine.
So it's a Power Fist, 1 Chainsword, and gun butts. So
All right,
I'm not
you
optimistic.
You do that.
All right, so heavy bolter, plasma gun, and bolt gun. So these are hitting on 2, 6s explode. So holy shit. So that's
It's like 30 hits on 5 rolls. You son of a bitch.
That's 6 explosions in a full house. And then these are still strength 5 because corn, and then winning on 3s. And then these will be AP 1 because they're 0 up to 1 because the icon. So dropped 2. So there's going to be that many saves on your Vanguard vets at AP 1.
Okay. That many saves at AP1. It's all going to be 4s anyways. And I
You do
have.
have a dude with a storm shield if you want to take it there.
Oh yeah. Let's take it there because he becomes like a 2+, and then you're -1, so it's a 3+.
plus, yeah.
So I'll just do 3+, 3+, 3+, 3+. Drop dice don't count. 1 wound, 3+, 3+, 3+, 3+. Ah, he died. I got 3. Dang.
I mean,
That guy almost tanked.
He just tanked 10 saves.
10
10
saves.
saves by himself.
All right, so let's do it. We got 3 left. I think these are on 4s, right?
Correct.
All right, so that's 1 wound. All right, 1 wound. So I'm down to 1.
All right, chainsaw.
Ryder, look.
Whoa.
Ryder, say hi.
Hi.
All right.
All right, then we have one guy with a chainsword, so he's gonna go now. So 2s, all hit, no explosions, and then 3s. That's gonna be 4 AP2.
4 at AP2, so they're at 3 ups, so they're going to be 5 ups?
Yes.
5 ups. That guy's dead. Saved.
That's a 1.
1. Saved.
Okay.
So I lose another 1.
And 1 is down to 1.
All right.
And then Power Fist, Sergeant. Has
Stop it!
+1, -1, so they still hit on 3s. So 2 hits. And then Strength is
A bajillion.
9, so 2s. So that's 2 at AP4.
Right. So 6s basically.
Yeah.
I don't save either.
2 damage each.
So 1 is crushed to death, and then the other one is crushed to death, and I am left with 1 sergeant with lightning claws.
Solid.
So,
You have your chaplain to fight now on death? Before you
yeah.
do you want to do that, or do you want to interrupt?
So what is the Leviathan Dreadnought stat for his like baseline melee? Can you just look up his stats so we can see how many wounds he has and also what his melee is? Where are you going?
You said is a Leviathan Dreadnought, correct? Leviathan.
Yeah, if somebody's legitimately asking about the new edition, yeah, nobody knows what's going to be good. So get balanced. Thank you, Mitchell Johnson, for the $5 reduce. Thank you to Leo Whitmer earlier for the $50 reduce. Thank you to whoever else gave the $5. I forget who it was, but thank you kindly. I hope you're enjoying the plastic blood and guts and violence as much as I am.
They don't have melee, so you're going to be hitting on 3s,
Mm-hmm.
and then your strength 7, so wounding on 3s, no AP, 1 damage each, 4 attacks.
4 attacks. That's not worth it. Wait, hold on. How many? He's got 5 wounds left?
So you can take 3, put him down to 2.
Yeah.
It's kind of unlikely because you're hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, and then I'm going to have a 2-up save.
Right. So how about instead of that, I'll pay 2 CP. Both of these guys are into the Blade Guard, right?
Correct.
So I'm going to try to kill your little demon dollary-do.
The Obliterator or the...
Obliterator.
Okay.
Because the Venom Crawler, I'm assuming, is like toughness 5 or 7 or something like
toughness
that.
7. So the
Yeah.
Oblit's 5, so you'll be wounding the Oblit on 4s.
Okay, so these guys were charged. I think they're 3. Are they 2 attacks each? 3 attacks
They
each?
are 3 attacks base plus 1 because shock assault. And
Alright,
if
so-
1 is the sergeant, he's going to get an additional 1.
Okay, sweet. So I'm getting 9 attacks. We're hitting on 3s because it's lame, but we're getting rerolls. So we're putting all the power swords into the Obliterator because we were going to overkill. I rolled 5 1s and 1 2. So
It's a
I'm-
good thing you got the Watchmaster.
Good thing I got the Watchmaster. Let's do that again. All right, I do convert all except for 2, and then I think power swords are +1, so I think it's 5 versus 5. So I think I'm wounded on 4s. So, oh crap, drop dice don't count. Stop. There we go. Should have counted it. It was a 6, but that's fine. And then let's re-roll again for 5s, trying to convert. I only get. Is it strength? Is it
It's
plus
T-
1?
So
Strength,
your
so it's
your
5
strength
versus
5
5s?
versus 5, yeah. So 4.
Okay, so I convert 5 wounds, and that's minus whatever a power sword is.
Minus like 4, so it's gonna be his 5-up saves.
Okay.
So he's dead. He just took 10 damage. That is a point for your secondary because that's one of the heavy slots.
Yeah.
So he is dead. So chat, for the score, we're probably gonna tally a lot of it up at the end because he just has to kill stuff to score. Really,
Yeah.
that's kind of.
You still have to fight with your legionaries.
Yep.
And then I get to and then you have to fight with your legionaries, Abaddon, and then I get to fight back with my Vanguard.
Here, yeah. So I'll go Venom Crawler next.
Sure.
Just move this over here for now. 2, 4.
And then for those of you, I'm seeing people coming and going, but lucky for me, the average amount of people are still staying and hanging out with us. So, I know people got work and other stuff to do and hanging out with the family. They can't all hang out for 3 hours and watch us just roll dice, which is a great way to spend the afternoon.
Be very baller.
But for those of you who are just kind of coming in or whatever, we have Deathwatch. So I have a line of Deathwatch here that are holding their best and their own against the Black Legion. I thought I was super duper sneaky by dropping some Vanguard vets into his back line. I am down to 1 man, and basically they're trying to do crazy warp rituals all over the board, and I'm trying to kill as many of them as possible. I'm starting to feel a little bit less confident because I'm starting to lose very important units, but I still think I can do some damage on my way out. So
Yeah, you can definitely clean some stuff up, that's for sure.
yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll get some stuff going.
The Venom Crawler did 3 wounds at -3 on your Blade Guard.
On my Blade Guard, so they're going to be taking it on 4s because of their Storm Shields. I pass 2, lose 1.
So 2 damage, so just one's down to a wound, I believe.
Okay, perfect. Although I think this guy already had a wound, so I'm going to take him for the sake of fair play.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Legionaries next. We'll do that. And then save
2
Abaddon.
bajillion the judge. I don't know what that means.
We don't actually have a judge, so
Yeah.
if we got a rule dispute, we're kind of screwed. If we have a rule dispute in a narrative fun game,
I know, yeah, we're doing something wrong. We're doing something wrong.
So we're gonna do. We'll start with the plasma guy, just because he doesn't have an actual weapon. So and the Reaper chain cannon, because it's the same thing. So 6 attacks on 2s.
Wait, is this melee?
Yes.
They charge. Okay, all right, just making sure.
There's a minigun and a plasma gun, and they don't actually have swords or anything.
Oh, they're just doing normal weapons.
Yeah, they got their gun butts.
Their
so
fists.
Hitting on 2s and 6s explode. No explosions from them.
Legionnaires, I'm surprised how nasty they are considering how mainline they are.
Yeah, so Legionnaires, I want to say, are some of our best units, just because they get the free weapon upgrades. If you give them icons, they
Put this on the side.
If you give them icons, they get +1 AP. Zeech, +1 AP in shooting.
Yeah.
+1 AP in melee. Nurgle, it's hit rolls of 6 auto wound. For
Yeah.
free.
So they're
Yeah.
very surprisingly nasty.
Yeah. Each of the 10-man brick of Legionaries is 195 points.
Nice.
So they're very, very good value for what they are. If they get hit with stuff, they tend to die kind of easily, though.
Yeah, because it's just 3-ups with no invulns.
Yeah, it's the intercessor crux. You know, it just kind of is what it is.
Don't worry, guys. I got some sneaky shenanigans coming up.
I got 5 wounds at AP 1 on the squad.
5 wounds, AP1 on the squad.
From the gun butts.
All right. So we're in cover, but that doesn't count for melee.
Correct.
And then, so it's -1. It's just going to be 4s.
Yep.
4s. I save 3, drop 2. One of them is dead.
So chain swords next. Got 4, 8, 12, 16 attacks from the chain swords.
I'll take one of my homies. And here's our dead pile. The glorious dead.
15 and 16. So 2s and 6s explode. Dropped 4, dropped 5, but have 3 explosion packs, so really only dropped 2. Really. And then I'm winning on 3s.
I gotta say, my Vanguard vets look the coolest and do the fucking least.
I feel like the coolest painted model always dies the quickest. So that's going to be 5, 10, 11 at -2.
Fuck you, you big demon-y bastard. Eat Melta, you piece of shit.
You big normal bitch. So these are AP2.
AP2. God, chainswords are nasty.
It's the free icons, man.
Yeah. All right, so hold on. So -2. These guys are at 3, so they're at 5s.
Yes.
So I save 1, drop. How much damage?
1 each.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that actually wipes the infiltrators and then puts a eliminator on a wound. I'm gonna.
Do the eliminators have 2? I think they
Yeah.
have 3.
Wounds?
Let me double check.
I think they're just normal.
Well, I
They're
see.
normal Marines. They just have better ballistic skill. Pretty sure.
Let me double check.
But I'm gonna pull from the infiltrators on the ground. That way, you're gonna have to charge me again, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Do you have any more attacks that are coming from
I
that
do.
squad to
I
complete?
have, the heavy axe and I have the tainted chain axe.
God damn, Legionnaires can fucking hit.
Yeah, they just have 2 wounds each. All right, so we'll do tainted chain axe next.
So just to explain this, just in case it doesn't make logical sense to people who don't play the game, this was one squad that I kind of stacked up with incoherency onto the thing, and then I basically said that if he gets into engagement range with the squad down here, the wounds will spill over into the squad.
Yeah.
So right now,
because they're just one big unit.
so I can say at the end of the battle round, because I pulled from the front, I can say that they're no longer in coherency, although he can consolidate 3 forward and then probably maybe get it.
I think I'd be a little too far.
Yeah, but we're still going to have spillover wounds because we're treating them as a squad. So just imagine that the Chaos boys are doing Chaos things and they literally like threw a chain axe that was revving up at the Bastion.
So 1 miss, 1 explosion from the chain axe, and then it is strength 7, so it's still 3s. Not too great, so just 1 at AP2.
Okay, so this will be a 5-up.
And that is 2 damage.
Okay, so that kills the Eliminator that I was hanging on to.
And then the chain axe on the 3s. 1 miss, 2 explosions.
Okay.
So 5 hits. It is strength 9, so 2s. So that is going to be 5 6-ups. 2 damage each.
5 6-ups?
AP5.
What the fudge?
Heavy chain axe.
6-ups. I save 1. I drop 4. How many wounds?
2 each.
2 each. That wipes the squad. I thought I was being so sneaky. I thought I was being so sneaky and so cool,
So
and I was not.
you're just going to end closer to these guys, but they're going to be in cover, so that way if you shoot Meltas, I'll at least get a save. I'll at least get somewhat of save.
Holy biscuits! So now, here's the thing. We still have to do Abaddon.
Yes.
We still have to do Abaddon. I am quickly losing assets. I have a good asset right here, but then he can, if I don't kill that squad, they can move and advance into my backfield objective, and I'm going to lose my last guy on his backfield objective. So if I don't contest, if I don't start killing, we're going to start having some problems. So let's give it a shot. Let's see what's up.
The Leviathan has 14 wounds.
Okay, so I
Down
lost
to
3.
11.
Yeah.
So
So hopefully you can't wipe me in one squad, but it's one go, but it's entirely possible because it's frickin' Abaddon.
he gave himself Chapter Master. He gets 8 plus D3, so 10 attacks.
Okay. Mark Kaysen. Connor's going to get tabled, and I'm here for it.
Listen, this is the way 40K goes. In your debut,
Uh-huh.
you take it.
Yeah.
It happened to me. I lost probably my first like 12 games. I mean, it happens. You learn, you get better, you learn the game, and it's just kind of the way it is.
Nah, you don't know what sneaky things I'm going to do. I'm going to get some sneaky things up in here.
So Abaddon is hitting on 2s, re-rolling, and 6s explode now. So 2 misses, which still on this, and then 1, 2, 3 explosions, and then these are going to be strength. It is 6 plus 4, 6 plus 3 plus 1, so 10. So winning on 3s, re-rolling. Good thing too, because I dropped a ton. And then only 2d3 mortal wounds so far. That's cops over, but so that is going to be that many saves at AP 4. So
So I get 5 ups.
Yeah, you'll have your 5 ups, and then that was a 5, so only 2d3 mortal wounds in addition.
Okay, and then how much damage are these?
3 going to be down to 2 each because of your
Dreadnought. Okay, so I could survive, but it's going to be very hard to do so. And I got to if I don't survive, I kind of got to pray I explode. So I'll re-roll that one because drop dice don't count. I get a healthy chunk, but it might not be enough. I got one more 5 there, so and I got to roll one more, which I don't get. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So that's 4
7 times 2, it's 14 wounds.
plus 4.
Okay, 14 plus 4. So I think he's done. Even if I try to, I don't have any CP, so just 6. Yeah!
Alright, so for those of you watching at home, the Leviathan just blew up.
Yeah!
6-inch D3. So your Watchmaster.
Suck it!
I'm pretty sure it's just the Watchmaster and Abaddon himself.
Okay.
So Watchmaster is going to take 2. Abaddon is going to take 1.
Hold on, let me roll for you.
Yeah, you roll for me.
Yeah!
That's what I wanted to see.
Yeah! 3 wounds! Suck it, Abaddon, you son of a bitch. He was on 5.
Yeah, so now he's down to 2.
2.
So he is very killable.
Yeah! Thank you, baby. Oh, man. It is getting sexy in here. It is getting crazy.
Do I want to consolidate? Yeah, I think I will. I'll just tap 3 this way.
And then how many wounds did I take? I took 2. So I'm down to
Yeah. So
down to 3 wounds. Yeah.
Just tap into the covers so that way if you shoot him, it's not the best.
Oh man. All right. Guys, the game is getting nasty. It is nasty.
He lost like 9, so I hate to do this, but you're gonna have to take him around.
Okay, but has he fought yet?
No, he has not. So go ahead
Yeah.
and fight with him.
So he's my sergeant.
So 6 attacks.
Yeah, because he's lightning claws.
Yep.
So
If he's dual lightning claws, he's gonna have 6.
okay.
A whopping 6.
6, and then so hold on. He gets like +1 for each claw or something.
So he's 3
2 on the base,
3 base
+1 on the sergeant. Yep.
shock assault.
Yep.
Lightning claws. So
Okay.
6.
All right, cool. So and hitting on 3s, I'm assuming.
Yes.
3s. There's no re-rolls because he's by himself, which stinks.
And then 4s rerolling.
Oh no. He's so sad. He's so sad. All his friends died, so he's being really sad right now.
If you roll a 1, you pass.
I didn't. So he grabs one of his brothers by the shoulders and he goes and bravely falls back off of the tabletop. So this is where it gets super interesting. So my Watchmaster has speed of the Primarch. So even though you have fight first, I have fight first.
So if you charge
And it'll be my
me-
turn.
Yeah, if you charge me, you'll get to fight.
I'll get to fight first. Then I have the Blade Guard who could try to guarantee the Abaddon kill in the melee phase.
Can they fall
But-
back and charge?
I don't have any CP, so I cannot. So actually, he's just going to have to stay engaged with the Venom Crawler. Unfortunately, he can't help out his Watchmaster buddy. What I'm going to do, though, which will be very sneaky, I'm going to pass you this thing.
Yes.
What I'm going to do, which could be very stupid, or very smart. I'm going to try to do both very stupid and very smart things simultaneously. If I don't... How many turns do we have?
This is the bottom of 3, so we've got 2 more turns left.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is... I have to have a think. I have to have a think for a second. So I think my guy could take down Abaddon. I think it's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
I think this guy by himself cannot take out the Venom Crawler, and he will fall apart. I think that I could kill your character, but I have to eliminate the Venom Crawler first, so I can't do it this turn. And so you'll get a point for a secondary for doing a warp thing in the center. And I also need to eliminate these guys because they have the opportunity to charge my backfield and take my objective. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bravely fall back without being able to charge again or shoot with this guy.
Okay. Just as a way to block the Venom Crawler off.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to move an inch this way, so my charge is Snake Eyes. I am going to move a full 6 inches this way with my Librarian.
Okay.
That way he can back up the Blade Guard. And I am going to bravely move. I need line of sight for both units. So I'm going to move 6 inches with my Bolt guys to shoot leftward into your infantry unit and also block off my home objective, hopefully.
Yes.
And then I am going to bravely aim my Meltas at the Venom Crawler. And then I'm sure Chad is already caught up on what I'm trying to do, but if I can safeguard my home objective against the troops, that way they don't steal it in the last second, if I can blast the Venom Crawler off of the objective and or smite it, if I can kill Abaddon and maybe try to kill the Master of Possession, even if I lose on points, I will feel like I did as good of a job as I can considering the situation. There's a lot of dangerous things on the board. Abaddon's still on the board, he's got 2 wounds remaining. These Legionnaires, I underestimated them by a huge amount. I was like, oh, who cares about a 10-man troop unit in my backfield? And they just annihilated my snipers. The Oblitz, I feel like I've been hit or miss. The Possessed have been hit or miss.
The Possessed haven't really gotten into melee with anything. They get 26 damage to attacks. They can be pretty nasty. You were able to charge them with Fight First and kind of cut them up. So
we're at the top of or bottom.
We're at the
of
bottom of 3.
Bottom of 3. So you still have 2 turns to move and get objectives.
Correct.
And you have a lot of speed too. So basically, I might be able to take out some key units here, but basically surviving units that can move as fast as I know you're capable of moving is actually going to be a different question. We even have the Warp Talons in the center who can move 12 and charge another 9.
Correct.
And
I can still revive a model, so I get a little bit of extra. So it's like 13 inches of move with them.
Yeah, so Chad, I'm sorry if it seems like I'm taking a long time to make a decision, but all of this is coming down to the end game. And I need to at least pull the Pyrrhic victory where I can take some symbols home, even if I'm not able to take the full victory.
Mark Kaysen makes a good point. He says the dice gods laugh as plans are made.
Yeah,
they do.
If I get tabled, I'm blaming you, and you owe me a $5 super chat or a Patreon membership. I'm blaming you because I saw that comment earlier, you son of a bitch. All right. Anyways, enough dilly dallying. Let's see if we can do some damage. So the Venom Crawler, you are going to eat 6 Melta. I'm doing whatever crazy thing where you shoot twice with the Melta Boys. 2, 4, 6. Hitting on 3s. And I have my Chapter Master, or Watch Master, so I reroll. I hit all 6 times. It's Strength 8 versus Toughness 7, I think, so it's 3s. And then I reroll because of my Watchmaster. I convert all of them. So I have 6 Melta shots into your Venom Crawler.
I save 4. I'll CP 1.
Wait, what's you have a demon save?
4 up. Yeah.
You have a demon save.
Because of the aura.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
he's only taking 2d6. So hopefully I roll high. How many wounds does he have?
9 wounds.
9 wounds. Praying to the dice gods.
That's not.
No!
He, for chat, he rolled snake eyes.
Snake eyes!
Do
I
you-
get 2d6 damage. I have no rerolls. I have no CP.
I was gonna ask if you want to reroll, but you're at most you're gonna be doing 7, even if you roll a 6, and he's still alive. So he's got 7 wounds remaining.
Oh,
So Mark, when you made that comment about the dice gods,
Mark Jason. You're lucky I don't have a computer to ban you.
your prophecy has come to fruition.
All right, you son of a bitch, Mark Jason. All right, so we'll do just for shits and giggles. We're gonna do Stormbolter into the guy, so that'll be 4 shots, bolter strength. So hitting on 3s. This is my librarian. He hits 3 times. He's within reroll.
Yep.
He misses the 3rd time. He does not wound, so he's done.
He gets to reroll wounds
Oh yeah,
too, right?
wounds because
He
wounds
wounds
3
all
times.
3 times.
Nice. So
And
maybe
he-
you can plank off the wounds that the melta was meant to do.
Nice.
Nope, he doesn't. Son of a bitch. All right, then. smite. So let's do my
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
You can block if you need to. I get a 7. Can you block a 7?
I will try. Not
He
with
does not
6.
block. I do D3 wounds to the.
Venom
do you want to say
Crawler.
Abaddon or Venom
I
Crawler?
think the Venom Crawler's a bit closer.
I'll say Venom Crawler just for sportsmanship.
2
wounds.
Okay, so down to 5.
So we're down to 5, which it's not horrible. All right, then Guardian Spear. Fuck it, I'll do the Guardian Spear into the Venom Crawler as well because maybe we can just plink it down. So Guardian Spear, it's basically a Storm Bolter. I think it's like -1/2 damage. So hitting on 2s because he's a Watchmaster. He wounding on 5s, I think,
Yeah,
because
it's T7.
it's toughness 7. Wounding on 5s. Rerolling because he's a Watchmaster. I don't get any. So it is what it is. Venom Crawler survives. Moving on to the boys, I still have 2 of my aggressors, so I get 2d3 shots, so I get 4 shots off of that. And then I have 3, 6, 9, 12, plus 4 is 16, plus 2 remaining guys who get, I don't know, it looks like you're within 12 to me, so I get 20 shots, 20 bolter shots into those guys. 4...
I'm counting them out for you. I'm at 12,
Thank you.
14, 16, 18, 20. So if you want to pick those up.
Okay.
And then all of these as well.
Okay. And then hitting on 3s, rerolling.
That is 20. Did you need more than that?
No, 20 is 20 bolter shots into the Legionnaires. And then rerolling all of my things because I have my Watchmaster nearby.
Yes.
Damn, that's nice. I drop 4,
Okay, it's not bad.
and then 4v4.
Yep, so
So 4s. And then I think it's going to be AP dash.
Okay, so I'll get 2 ups because I have the guys touching the bunker.
Dang, that is not good. So good thing I have my Watchmaster. That was a lot of 1s. Holy crap.
He successfully wounded 2 out of 16.
I wounded 3 out of 16 hits. That is
Okay, yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
All right, so now we need to remove. I think I knocked that one.
And then
So
there's
those, yep.
a 3 as well.
So there you go.
So there we go. 2 ups. So might lose a guy. We'll see. Statistically, I take a wound. So 1 is down to 1.
Son of a bitch.
We'll take
Thanks,
it
Mark
on the,
Chasen, you asshole.
we'll take it on the plasma.
All right, then I'm gonna do some wild shit because it's the end game, so why not? I'm gonna charge
Okay.
my. Obviously, Watchmaster's going into that.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and do that first?
Yeah, so, I mean, unless I literally roll snake eyes. Nope, I got 8. So-
That'll do it.
Yeah. Then what I'm going to do in order to assure his death, I'm going to do a charge with my back squad.
Okay.
So I would say that's like a 7.
7. Yeah, let's do
7.
it 7.
I get a 5, so they are not in, and I don't have any rerolls. I'm gonna do my librarian into Abaddon, and that is an 8. I think that's it.
Yeah, that'll make it.
So, here we go. Boop. Sure. He's in Terminator armor. He jumps on top of the crates. All right, and then I can't charge with that guy because he fell back. They failed their charge, so all they're doing is holding the back objective. Mark Chasen, you son of a bitch. I think you're getting away. See, I was thinking that was going to be so sneaky. I was going to like fall out of combat with this guy and then charge your main character and then slice him to ribbons, but I don't have any CP to do it. I thought the Venom Crawler was going to get nuked. He didn't get nuked. I thought my Smite was going to do some
You
work.
thought those guys were going to get lit up.
I thought those dudes were going to get lit up. I did 1 wound with Bolter Fire.
So if you don't kill Abaddon,
Yeah.
he has fight first.
Yeah.
So
I have to use my Watchmaster.
yeah, so you're gonna have to use him, try to kill him. He does have the Mark of Zeech active again.
Yeah, so the first one he
So
ignores.
first failed save, he's gonna
Okay, so we might actually want to look up the Watchmaster. I'm pretty sure he has like 4 or 5 attacks, and he has 2+ weapon skill, and then the Guardian Spear is like +1 or +2 strength. So can you pull up Wahapedia for the Watchmaster, just so we can make sure that I'm actually not going to...
Yeah, you want to take this?
Sure. So it all comes down to this. The Guardian Spear Watchmaster, Blood Angel with a Victrix helmet and a Guardian Spear. Definitely not wearing Custodes armor. You know, definitely just Artificer armor that, you know, is definitely not Custodes. Facing off after the big bad Abaddon, seeing if he can, you know, at least get Warlord and at least pull a symbolic victory from the battlefield, if not an actual victory. And then, of course, we know that, you know, he's not truly going to be dead. He's just going to get, you know, bloodied up a little bit. But he distracted everyone so they could do all the dark rituals they needed to do in order to chase the Warp Bible. While he basically sacrificed his own...
And he has a Vigil Spear?
Vigil Spear.
Okay, so it's going to be... He's going to get 5 attacks at strength 5 -3 D3 damage apiece.
Okay, -3 D3?
Correct.
Okay, and then is 5 with Shock Assault or without it?
With.
With, okay. All right, thank you to whoever said, may the Emperor shine on your dice, because basically, hopefully you undo the warp magic that Mark Chasen gave me. So, all right, 5, you said 5 attacks with Shock Assault.
5 attacks with Shock Assault.
He's Ballistic Skill 2, or
Yes.
Weapon Skill 2.
Yep, so hitting on 2s.
And he hits every single time, so we get 5 hits. He's
And then
Strength 5?
T6, so
He's Toughness 6. So, wait, so, but doesn't he get a plus? Is it
Yeah,
plus 1?
he's strength 4 +1.
+1.
Yeah.
Ooh, so I'm still getting fives for the wound. All right, so I get 1 so far, but he is a Watchmaster. So, he only gets 1.
So
He gets 1.
I hate to tell you, but Mark of Zeech flips, makes a 0 damage.
Ah!
So let me see if I pass it, which I do on a 6. So Mark of Zeech is actually still up, if you want to take this.
Ah!
Let me see how many attacks I get. I get 8 plus D3. I get 10 attacks. So we're going to do...
Are you doing the Watchmaster? Are you doing the Librarian? Are you splitting?
We're going to do the Librarian, because the Librarian has not attacked yet.
Ah!
We're going to do all into the Librarian.
All he has is a 5+. That's all he has.
So 2s, rerolling, 6s explode.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Full house +2, so 12 hits. And then you charged me, so not strength +1, so it's only strength 9. He's in he's T4 because Terminator.
Yeah.
So still 2s. So 2s rerolling, that's cost. I'm gonna roll that. Boom. Boom. Just to save you a little bit of time, he takes 5 mortal wounds. How many wounds does he have?
5. Mark Chasen, you son of a bitch!
So he's just dead off the bat.
And now I lose my ability to do. The fucking psychic shenanigans.
Yes.
So I can't even do psychic shenanigans in order to kill him.
All right, so he had 5 wounds.
Yep.
I don't think I'm rolling a CP here. No, I rolled too high. I have to roll under his wounds, and with characters, a little tricky. All right, so in my turn, command phase, Abaddon is going to give himself rerolls.
Okay.
He has fight first. So does your guy have fight first as well?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's your turn, so you would still fight first.
Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do.
You want to shoot my lonely blade guard or my infantry? You want to perform a move in whatever in the center of the board, a warp ritual?
Yeah. So because I only have 2 more turns, I need to do it 2 more times. So he's gonna do that.
Okay.
These guys are just gonna trudge forward here.
Okay.
I don't care too much about resing models anymore, just because I need to get up in the other table quarter and score points.
So I think what we're gonna do, I hate to call it early, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish this turn. So basically, George is gonna see whether or not he can kill my Watchmaster. I'm gonna see if my Lonely Blade Guard can survive anything. I'm gonna see if my troops can survive, and then I'm just gonna punch back one more time, and we're gonna add up the points. If I have enough like secondaries and primaries that it's still contestable, then we'll play out the 5th battle round. If it's not contestable, then we'll just we'll call the points and basically go over the battle. So we're in the end game now. Let's take a look at where we're at.
All right, so this Ablit is going to walk like this, so that way he can shoot at these guys here. In the psychic phase, we're going to warp ritual to the center. We get a 4. I get a 10 because of the +1 from the Venom Crawler. So that's 2 for the warp tally. And then onto the shooting phase. Venom Crawler is just going to shoot the Blade Guard in front of him.
Okay.
6 shots on 2s, and then 6 explode. Drop 1, explode twice, and then wounding on 3s. Not too great. 3 at AP2.
3 at AP2. I have to take him on my shields. All right, let's do 1. 4 up. 4 up. Dang it.
2 damage.
Then I think he's 1 wound left. 4 up. He's dead.
Yes.
He's dead. I am out of CP. My gloriously painted Black Templar Sergeant falls.
The Obliterator is going to put the squad in the back. Are they all 3 wounds?
Yeah, they're all Gravis 3 wounds.
Right, so
and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 bodies left.
All right, so he'll do the big shots. So D3. So 3 shots hitting on 2s because they're the closest eligible. I can't shoot into engagement. So all hit, and then strength 9, so 3s. 2 at AP3.
2 at AP3. They're going to be 3 ups, so they're at 6 ups. I lose both. How many wounds?
4 damage each.
So I lose 2 more, gentlemen. I'm going to take out my last heavy intercessors.
Okay, and then we're not going to shoot with the legionaries because I don't want to make my charge higher.
Okay.
And we're going to go into the charge phase. I forgot to move the warp talents, so I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they're hiding in the trees, and I forgot they were there. So they're just going to pop over here, and then depending on what we do next turn, they'll hopefully just go back.
I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm getting the pit in my stomach of the battle turning against me. So, we have like 3 units left on the battlefield. We haven't, counted up the primaries and the secondaries. We'll definitely do that at the end. So now we're just looking for symbolic victories. Can my infantry hold on to the home objective so we can do a retreat? Can I survive the onslaught of Abaddon over here? Probably not because of his mortal wound overspill effect. Can I get any kind of symbolic win out of this, or does the Black Legion just take the battlefield?
I got an 8 on the charge, so they are in. Venom Crawler.
My wife is laughing at me. Look, everyone, look at my wife. Look at my wife. She doesn't want to be on camera. Look at my wife.
Venom Crawler will go ahead and charge into there as well. He needs a 7.
Good.
I get a 10,
Oof.
so he's in.
Mark Chasen, I hold you personally responsible.
The Warp Talons are going to try to charge the Watchmaster just to get a little bit of extra movement.
Sure.
We'll say they need an 8 because I have to charge over. They get a 3, so they fail. That's fine.
Okay.
The Oblit will come charging around the corner into the Watchmaster. Rolls a 5, so that doesn't get it. So that's fine. So here we are. You do not have CP to interrupt, but you fight first. So Abaddon of the Watchmaster first.
Is this ongoing combat, or is this charged?
It's an ongoing, but I have fight first.
And then I have fight first, but it's your turn.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so let's see if I can survive.
He gets 3 additional attacks, so 11 attacks.
Roll the mortal wounds, because I only have 5 wounds.
Okay. When we get to the wound rolls, then I'll do that. So
Okay.
2s, rolling, which is good because I dropped 4. Miss. All hit, no explosions, and then wounding on 2s, go strength 9. Rolling. It's 7 more wounds. and then 10 saves at -4.
So even if I rolled, so let's say that I like invoked some like psychic ability, or I looked up some chapter thing that gave me 6-ups, rolling 7 6-ups in a row is not like
So, go ahead.
statistically likely.
Roll these and see how many 4-ups you can make. I want to see how much damage. So you've taken 7 mortals.
7 mortals, and then let's roll the 4s. So I've taken on top of the 7 mortals,
So you've taken 15, so 22 damage.
22 damage with a 5 wound model.
So
All
just
right.
for perspective, chat,
Yeah.
that would have killed anger on it.
So what I'm gonna say is, I was so excited to face Abaddon in battle, and yet, even though he was on 2 wounds remaining, he still killed a Washmaster in a single round of combat.
So he's killed.
What
So
an absolute beast.
So he took out the Terminator strike team,
Yep.
Leviathan Dread, Watchmaster, and a Librarian.
I will never underestimate this model ever again. That is insane.
In 10th edition, I feel like a lot of his stuff is going to go away.
Yeah, he is just that is one of the nastiest units I've ever played. So what I'm gonna say is, seeing the Watchmaster fall, the aggressors, they grab his corpse, they retreat from the battlefield. There's only 5 of them left. Even if we rolled for it, I'm gonna concede. Basically, they're like, all right, eat Melta.
So they'll consolidate this way. In turn 5, they'll go ahead and retrieve in the back quarter, so I max that.
So retrieve. Yeah, you want to add up the points just to see where we're at?
Yeah. So Warp Ritual in the center, I succeed on an 11, or a 10, because I'm going +1. So that is 12 for Retrieve, 12 for Warp Ritual, and Rise to Glory, I score 3, 4, 5. So I'll score 12. So I just scored 12 on all my secondaries.
All right, so while George is adding it up, I'm going to go ahead and summarize the battle from my perspective. I'll let him summarize the battle from his perspective. And basically what I would say, this is our dead pile over here. What's crazy is that I really I don't think I would have benefited from bringing much more anti-tank, because I really did take out what I needed to take out, which was this demon fella, the demon prince. I took out a demolisher or a vindicator. I forget what it's called. I think it's a vindicator with a demolisher cannon. So there's a tank-sized hole in his back line over here. I wildly underestimated the legionaries who came through this part of the battlefield and absolutely annihilated. Mark Kaysen for $20. Thank you. That's 15 over your penance payment. He said, I didn't mean to curse your game. Congrats on your kill. Listen. I'm only a little bitter, okay? I'm only a little bitter. But just still summarizing, the Legionnaires, who I thought nothing of. This is one of my constant things, is I underestimate Legionnaires, I underestimate Intercessors. They made their way to my snipers, who I thought were relatively safe, who would have at least one more round of shooting. They were able to wipe them in melee combat because they have chain swords, they got power fists, they have a great axe. They're just absolutely nasty, and I thought that I was going to be able to rinse them, and I wasn't at all. Venom Crawler, I wasn't too scared of. He didn't do a whole lot of damage in the shooting, but he was a good distraction Carnifex, just continuing to press my lines, where even though I didn't feel like he did a lot of damage on the firing, it's still a giant, creepy, warp spider creature in your face. And I think he did pretty good in melee, actually.
He does decent in melee, so that he gets the same amount of attack, shooting, and melee. He gets 6 either way. So in shooting, it's strength 6, AP 2 damage. In melee, it's strength 7, AP 3 2 damage. So the AP 2 to 3 makes a huge difference, especially with 3-up save models. And the 2-up or the -2 in shooting is usually into cover, so it's usually -1, so not as significant. The main function of the Venom Crawler is to babysit the Master of Possession.
Yeah.
Because he gives him a +1 to cast a 9-inch aura. And if the Master of Possession gets the Cursed Earth off, he gets a 4-up invuln, which you saw can be really effective.
The 4-up invulns were absolutely bananas, because I go from thinking that I'm going to rinse a unit and just absolutely annihilate it to basically 50% of the hits or wounds that I make are doing. And then I'm not going to lie, fellas, I think the reason why this game is such a bitter pill for me is because I was surprised when I got Abaddon down to 5 wounds. I was like, there's a chance here. 5 wounds. I mean, if you get a good psychic phase, phase, if you get a good smite off, if you get a good shooting phase off, if you plink off a bunch of wounds with the heavy flamers, I thought I had him. And then on top of that,
like I told you pre-game, heavy flamers took. Heavy
3
flamers did
wounds
16,
or something like that?
The heavy flamer did 1, then the 16 shot did the other 2.
Right.
It's like, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. So honestly, if I had rolled a little bit better with my Dreadnought, he could have been down to 1. And then my Watchmaster, I'm actually kind of surprised with my Watchmaster that he didn't do as well as he normally does. Although normally does, I've only done one other live battle report. What he did last time is he slaughtered a Chaos Terminator squad by himself.
Right.
He just annihilated a Chaos Squad, Terminator squad, but basically with Abaddon's toughness. What is he, a 7 or something like that?
T6.
He's toughness 6. He was toughness 6, so I was a +1 strength, so I was at 5, so I could only wound on 5s. So normally I do have a Smash Captain with a Thunderhammer. I felt like he would have done better this time. But then he also has crazy high mobility, so my Smash Captain probably would have been in the backfield. Also, another Mr. Green, you can always rewind and watch it. I mean, we've been rolling for a few hours now, like 2 or 3 hours. But basically, I also had a full Vanguard veteran squad that landed behind enemy lines and successfully made their first round charge, but they only killed 3 Warp Talons, and that was with 10 Marines. And then the 10 Marines, basically these Legionnaires, are absolutely devastatingly, shockingly deadly. So, you just kind of think of them as like regular ass Space Marines, but when you add up all the chain swords at -2, 1 damage, and they have like 20 attacks, and you add in the great chain axe and the, a power fist or something like that, just absolutely fucking annihilates. So I am disappointed. I have a bitter pill in my stomach, but it was a hell of a fucking battle. It was so good. I mean, just look at this shit. Killed a demon prince, killed a bunch of, are these possessed?
That's possessed and 1 obliterator.
And killed possessed, an obliterator, killed some warp talons, killed some legionnaires. There's my beautiful fucking Vanguard vets who didn't do anything. Here's my Redemptor, who's always an MVP. He always does great work. And then also my Gravis boys. And my Gravis boys and my Terminators, they did their job. So as much as I am bitter, they did their job. They soaked up fire. They absorbed a lot of wounds. They took a lot of charges. So everybody did their job. It just wasn't enough. And last thing, I know I'm ranting a lot, but that's what we're here for, right? Last thing, I feel like if it had gone just a little bit differently, where, for instance, if I had peppered the Legionnaires a little bit more, had made them a little bit less combat effective, and then also if I had a few more CP, which is obviously everybody wants more CP, but if I was able to like break off and assassinate the Master of Possession, I almost thought about leaving Abaddon alone. But when I saw, and going after the Master of Possession, but when I saw he was down to 2 wounds, he was too tempting of a target. So that's my bad. I should have been sneaky, and I was not.
I mean, it's one of those things like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you ignore Abaddon, he's going to come and get you.
Yeah.
So it kind of puts you in like a weird spot.
Well, walk us through it. You take the camera for a second and walk us through it from your perspective. Just walk around the board, tell us about your favorite units, your MVPs, what you liked, what you didn't like, what tactics you thought were best, et cetera, et cetera.
MVP Abaddon, obviously. I mean, he killed probably about a third of your list by himself.
Yeah, he's an absolute monster.
He's a monster. When 10th edition comes around, his data sheet is going to get probably significantly thinned, which is fine. And
He'll still be a monster.
I'm okay with it. Even if he keeps the point value of 350, if he gets a couple of abilities less, I don't care. That's fine. The way that they're talking about like characters having 1 enhancement, kind of like boarding actions where you get like 1 relic or warlord trait type thing per character. I'm thinking that if you give it to him, it's going to be, because right now he has essentially a relic sword that does D3 mortals on wounds of 6. He's got he has all 4 marks of chaos, which understandable because he's undivided and exactly. So I get it, but that gives him so many different abilities, and then on top of that, he has 3 warlord traits for 1 CP.
Well, and here's my thing about him. So I think that lore-wise, one of my most frustrating things about Abaddon is that he's just a space marine,
right?
Yeah.
Like he's a bit, of course, like he's the coolest Space Marine who ever lived, and he's taller than all the Space Marines, and he can only wear Terminator armor because he's so big. And
Well,
he's a leader that just staring,
if you
and he's warp infused.
if you look into his lore a little bit, so he actually, in order to get Drachnian, he had to go through like a maze and kill copies of all 18 of the Primarchs.
What?
So he had to kill like warp versions of them, so they weren't as strong, but
Yeah.
still quite powerful. He
Yeah.
had to duel and kill every single one in order to get possession of sword.
Fulgrim,
So
the-
yes, Sanguinius,
Leman
Horus,
Russ, or-
Lehman Russ,
Yeah.
all of them. So obviously they weren't themselves; they were just warp versions, kind of like a warp. But still,
demon,
yeah.
demon
I mean,
Primarch
these
manifestation.
are duelists. You know,
Right.
you have Sanguinius, you have Lehman Russ, you've got Fulgrim, you've got these guys that can mess. You know, Lionel Johnson. You've got these guys that could really mess you up. If he had gone into them one-on-one, like actual Primarchs, probably would have killed him at that point because he had not become the champion of Undivided. After he gets Drachnian, he leaves. He then goes back to the Sons of Horus at the time, says, you know what, now we're the Black Legion. You're going to follow me. I'm the War Master. So that's kind of, you know, his thing. Then they infuse him, make him almost as big as a Primarch. If you hold him up to like Gilliman's model, Lionel Johnson's model, he's slightly shorter.
Yeah.
So he's a big chunky boy.
So he's basically a Primarch at this point.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I would say he's slightly weaker than a Primarch. It's Drachnian that kind of gives him the edge because the demon sword is essentially all four gods just pour their energy into that sword, and then that it just gives him a little bit of an edge.
But he plays as terrifying as he should be.
Yes.
Which I think that's like that's gonna be my takeaway or whatever, is like don't underestimate, because
Yeah.
I think there's like an imperial. Just kind of like an imperial mindset to 40K that's by default, because like we're losing all the time, Cadia falls, you know, all that kind of stuff. But you know, we're the good guys. We're always gonna win in the end, like all that kind of stuff. And but basically, and so also with Abaddon, there's a reason to talk shit, which is just like, you know, his Primarch fell in battle. He wasn't able to protect him. He's just a warp juiced up, you know, guy. He's taken 10,000 years to launch 13 Black Crusades that have all failed, but they retconned them to be subtle pirate victories.
Yeah,
going
and
towards a
I'm
larger
not going to
scheme.
spoil anything for chat, but if you have not yet watched or read the newest book that came out,
Yeah.
it's very spicy.
Yeah.
Very spicy for chaos.
Nice.
So definitely read it.
No, but that's my
yeah,
thing.
there's a big duel between some Primarchs in there that you guys are going to enjoy. Abaddon and Vashtor do some trickery with the arcs, and it's
But that's
spicy.
the thing is, if I was going to face, so for instance, if he had been what I thought of him prior to this battle, where he's just like a warp juiced up tactical master or whatever guy, I think I would have gotten him.
If he didn't have the phase cap, he'd be dead.
Right. But,
100%.
but since he has the phase cap, he has a demon sword that can absolutely, like, half the times he was killing units, he didn't even have to roll to a wound.
It was
Because he was doing
yeah.
more wounds in addition.
I mean, he was like killing units plus 20 additional damage. Like it's just stupid.
Fucking bananas.
I think the most damage I've done. I played against Orcs when Chaos first got their codex. I played against a Goff's Gazkul list.
Yeah.
And I did 146 damage with him in the battle.
Yeah.
And it was just silly.
But see, this is where narratively, like they should tweak him a little bit, obviously.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because at this point, I think he's nastier than a Primarch.
Yeah.
But at the same time, narratively, this works really well because basically, I have my own headcanon. I have a Watchmaster in Artificer armor with a Guardian Spear, which basically makes him like, you know, a baby Custodes.
Right.
He's nasty. He blizzarded through, wood chippered an entire Terminator squad. He's, you know, a 500-year, 600-year Blood Angel who's leading his watch fortress. They've come down here to interrupt a ritual. There was, I forget the name of the Xenos, but there was Xenos in the first Eisenhorn book who have like the Warp Bible. So basically, like, it wouldn't be surprising to me if during the Arcs of Omen or before the Arcs of Omen stage, Abaddon is sneaking off to get a copy of the Warp Bible. So the Deathwatch, while it's not technically Xenos, they see an opportunity to take out.
But, you know, the Inquisition gets word of it, and they say, "Hey, Deathwatch are the closest. You guys got to go." Yeah.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
But then this is what makes it even more narrative for me, is my guy who thinks he's awesome, he's badass, he's the veteran of 10,000 battles, he's killed orcs and Xenos and Eldar and Necrons to the world's end. He goes up to Abaddon, thinking that he's gonna get him.
Tink.
He impales him with a guardian spear, and he's like, I got him! I got him for daddy! I got him for daddy Ems!
He pulls the spear out, Zeech takes the wound and closes it, says damage 0.
Yeah, and then he just gets absolutely gutted with Drachnian or the Town of Horus, like the opening cinematic to Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
The cinematic where not Abaddon, but Horus is just walking past an Imperial Fist, and the Imperial Fist was thinking, just like my guy, he's like, I get in the heresy right here. He charges up with a sword with like
just
a reverse backstab because he only has one hand. And just because a Primarch is faster than a Space Marine, he just eats like 5 Talon of Horus claws in his chest.
So you asked me during the game, like, oh, are you going to use the Talon of Horus? So the Talon of Horus, you know how he gets the 8 plus D3?
Yeah.
So if I roll, that's a Warlord trait. So that could go on either weapon. So the Talon of Horus would have 22 attacks. Hitting on 2s, AP 4, it's only 1 damage.
Okay.
So you can do that, or you can have Drachnian doing 3 damage every wound plus D3 mortals on 6s. The D3 mortals, even if you're going against hordes, typically does more damage than the Talon.
Yeah.
So
the only time you would use it is for like narrative purposes.
Correct. Yeah. Or if you roll low, if you only get 1 and you have 9 attacks, then you get 18 attacks, depending on who you're going into. If it's like cult, if you're going against like cultists or like orcs or something where it's like, oh, I need to kill 20 models or 15 models, or I need to kill 12 and force morale.
Which
sure.
Is fucking bananas.
Yeah.
To think about. But see that's I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Narratively, this was beautiful.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like the other thing that I kind of put into my head, so we all deal in like the stereotypes of factions because we research the factions that we love to the 10th degree, but then we don't research the other things. So we're dealing with stereotypes.
Right.
And with the stereotypes or whatever, chaos to imperial factions or whatever are supposed to be mindless, possessed by gods, drug addict monsters who are just mindlessly pursuing their heart's ambition, and as a result, they kill as many chaos forces as they do imperial forces while they're trying to do what they need to do. But Black Legion is supposed to be the exception, where they're the tactical geniuses that are bringing together all the forces of chaos into a coherent faction that actually works together towards end.
And Abaddon, people think he's just this mindless killer. Abaddon is a very cunning strategist. He, like, people think, oh, well, he failed all the Crusades. In a way, when they retconned it, it kind of made me happy because it's like he goes into the Crusades, the Imperium beats him enough to where they think, oh, we've won, he's lost. But he's really trying to weaken key points. He's trying to sow fear. He's trying to, develop cults to foster chaos.
Yeah.
He's trying to get artifacts. He's trying to do all the stuff. And now that Arx is here, I feel like all of those Crusades have kind of culminated into this, and this is kind of what it was building to.
Yeah.
A lot of things in the lore are kind of pointing toward we're getting close to the end game lore-wise.
Yeah.
All these Primarchs are coming back. We've had a Primarch return every other year now. If Lehman Russ comes back, it means we are in the end times because he said, I'm literally coming back at the end times. So... Yeah, so back to my MVP, obviously Abaddon MVP, Legionaries. The 2 squads of Legionaries, they're just absolutely ridiculous.
Infuriatingly good.
I'm really glad, I was thinking about doing 1 of 10, 2 of 5. I'm really glad that I just took 2 of 10.
Yeah.
The 10-man bricks, especially being able to res models and stuff.
Chewing through those wounds was impossible. And so kind of, playing, both the game and the headcanon and the lore. So for me, like, if you were Nurgle or whatever, or if you were Khorne, Khorne doesn't, at least stereotypically, right? The Death Guard they just march in a single direction, annihilating everything that's them. So they're right in front of them. So they're like kind of slow, but then everything they touch is just absolutely destroyed. So I would just have this avalanche of rotting tissue advancing towards me that I would have to try to chip away.
Right, and even, not narratively, even on the tabletop, they had their contagion. They want us to kind of steadily advance and kind of spread their auras and kind of do their thing.
And then Khorne or
the World Eaters.
World Eaters, they just want to come and kill everything.
Turn 1. If not turn 1, turn 2, they're in your deployment zone. Right. The entire army. Yeah. They're there.
Which is absolutely insane.
Yeah,
but
100%.
This is what I liked about playing against Black Legion is they were as tactical as advertised in the lore. So basically, like, I thinking that I'm the strategic genius or whatever. I'm like, I'm going to counter deploy in his back zone. He's going to have to deal with this thing. I got, 10 Marines and I got a chaplain with a 4+ invulnerable save. He's going to have to chew through 20 wounds plus the chaplain. He's going to have to chew through 24 wounds, one of which is buffing the melee. Like all this kind of stuff. So I think that I just dropped like basically a Terminator bomb in your back line, but it wasn't at all. And the Legionaries were able to chew through it, which is just like. And see, that's the thing is with them being in the midboard. They're
because this whole kind of quarter was just bunch of bad stuff. Like you needed to deal with so much over here. That's why the 10 men over here kind of snuck by. You're like, all right, let me put a little bit of shooting into them. Okay, I didn't do much. Let me put a lot of shooting into them. Okay, I didn't do much. And then now they're in your backfield. And they were able to do retrieve here, charge, kill. Charge, probably kill. I mean, we called it before. Then they consolidate back there and retrieve.
I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I have 15 wounds left. And you've chewed through between 10 and 20 wounds with the Legionnaires every single time they've gotten in.
And between them and the Venom Crawler, because you can't interrupt.
Venom Crawler, or Abaddon's now free. He killed the thing. So in turn 5, he could have moved 6, charge 6. They would have been gone. So that's where for me. So if we were narratively actually like kind of assessing who would have survived this battle, of course, like you got to figure like whenever you lose somebody to an attrition test, they're really like picking up a wounded guy and getting
and running, recovering the gene seed and getting out of there.
So really, the only people who actually survived that I can remember, these guys sacrificed themselves. They're gone. This squad, they're falling back. They're picking up the Watchmaster's corpse on the way out, and
Abaddon takes it with the talon and launches it at him.
He launches
Take your Watchmaster.
So they're grabbing their HQ and they're dipping out. There's only 5 of them left, and then the only other person that really would have quote unquote survived is I lost a dude in morale.
The jump pack.
So he would have grabbed one of his buddies and jumped to safety. And
probably the chaplain, because the chaplain was back here.
Yeah, he would have grabbed the chaplain and jumped to safety. So really, you're talking about 80-90% of my forces are gone. And we still have we have like 7 or 8 Legionnaires here.
Right.
We've got 10 Legionnaires in the back field.
I have to warp ritual, so I'm not resurrecting anymore. So what's here is what's here.
Yeah, and then you have 2 HQs. Did you kill an HQ?
You killed the 1 Demon Prince, yes.
1 Demon Prince, yeah. So 2 of the HQs. So you sacrifice a Demon Prince who can still respawn in the warp.
Yeah.
So he can recollect himself, and then you lost some demons. Which I'm very happy to have killed. They're the ugliest motherfuckers.
The MVPs I have 3. So Abaddon, the Legionaries, and the Master of Possession.
Yeah.
The Master of Possession giving the 4-up aura, being able to heal and revive, and then having the +1 to cast from the Venom Crawler. Being able to get a super smite on a 10, not an 11, is really, really nice for him. He has another ability, which I didn't do. If I play Word Bearers, I usually do. He can stab a unit next to him for D3 mortal wounds and get an additional +2 to cast. Yeah. So with a Venom Crawler, you're looking at +3. Yeah. So, which I usually do because Word Bearers have a 5-up shrug against mortals. Yeah. So it's like you stab them, you do 3, I take 2. All right, guy's dead. I'll cast Pact of Flesh on them after I'm done doing whatever, and now he's back alive. It's like, okay, whatever.
And this game was metal as fuck, too, because basically, like, I told George before we started the game, like, what I was thinking is, it's only 300 point model.
350.
350.
Yeah.
How can I not, out of a 2K point game, if I throw $2,000 at a 350 point model, I should be able to kill it.
Yes.
And
but you need to have, the thing is, it's not the points, it's the phases. The phases are what get you.
And not just that, but he is buffing so much that he's never by himself. Like, he's only by himself because I through everything that was around him, but he's still able to absolutely annihilate things by himself. So even by the time, like, if you're thinking about trying to, like, break through somebody's armor in order to get to the soft meat, this isn't soft meat, it's more armor.
And with all his various marks, the Zeech mark takes the first failed save, makes it 0. So if you have no bolters going into him, I'm taking a melt-a-shot or a missile or a las cannon and just zeroing it.
And that's what happened too. I forget if it was I think it was a Vigil Spear hit.
Yeah.
I had a Vigil Spear hit and it was the only one that wounded. And I could have gotten like D3 or whatever it was. So there was still the opportunity to kill him, but because he's favored by the dark gods, he tells me to go fuck himself.
Pretty much, And then, like, if you try to put really heavy weapons into him, like the Mark of Nurgle is really weird. So if your strength matches his toughness, he's -1 to wound. If your strength doubles or more his toughness, he's -1 to wound. So unless you have a +1 to wound, you can't wound him on 2s or 4s. So the strength 6 sometimes comes up. The strength 12 plus usually never comes up.
Right.
Like a Tau railgun or something crazy. If they are able to get that into Abaddon, go for it. Yes. A lot of and this game I was able to character protect him like turn 1 and 2, and then I just kind of sent him forward. He just does a lot of damage, so I'm like, you know what? Screw character protection. Let's just yeet him forward, try to see what he can do. Typically in competitive play, he'll sit behind a 10-man brick of Terminators with a ton of different buffs on them from Apostles and Masters of Possession, and it's
impossible to chew through. Yeah, just like I think they call that like a Death Star or whatever. Yeah, it's just something.
Yeah, I call it the cocktail. I mean, if you get everything off, your Terminators are -1 to wound, T5. If you do the Zeech mixture, they have a 6-up Feel No Pain, a 4-up Invuln, and they're just. And then the first failed save is 0 because their mark is each.
I have to say, the last nerd thing that I really have, I guess, is I'm consistently disappointed in Vanguard decks. And to me, they are the coolest things. And if Alfarius is still in chat or whatever, he basically said, like, well, the problem is if you send a 5-man squad or whatever, they get chewed through too quick, so they can't do their job. So I did do a 10-man unit or whatever, and we killed, 3 warp towns or something like that.
Right.
But so the main problem is speed and durability.
Right.
So speed is supposed to be an advantage because you can cover half the board or deploy in the backfield or whatever. But then what you're doing is you're putting them in the enemy line of fire and you're putting them within enemy melee distance.
Correct.
So as a result, they don't have the durability to survive. The thing about the Gravis Boys or the Terminator Squad with 5 guys, 5 normal Marines with Thunder Shields or Storm Shields, is I can Terminator drop them someplace, and they will typically survive 1 or 2 rounds of fire. And then even though they don't have, they have a good chunk of durability, but even though they're not specifically designed for melee, they have melee elements. So they have the Power Fists, which don't underestimate a Power Fist, because if you charge a squad and they got 5 Power Fists, or even if they have a couple in there, you can lose a couple of really expensive
just for reference, like the heavy axes I have, AP aside, they're, -1 to hit 2 damage. They're just like a Power Fist, just with upped AP.
Well, and that was terrifying too, was the chain swords. So the chain swords with -2 AP, chain swords -2 AP, they were having like fucking power swords.
And so not only are they -2 AP, so because the icons are free for core units.
Yeah.
So all icons are free. So Mark of Corn on them is 15 points. So for 15 points, they have +1 strength on the charge. So their chain swords are strength 5, an additional AP -2. They get Corn strat support, so I can spend a CP and make 6's auto wound. There's a bunch of other stuff. They get a 4-up deny for a CP.
And is chain sword still adding an attack?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they get 3 base and then +1 for the chain swords.
So people have been complaining about Astartes chain swords forever because they didn't feel like chain swords because they had no AP. Your Astartes chain sword is nastier than everybody else's Astartes.
Yeah, I mean, in Assault Doctrine, chain swords are AP2 for...
Right.
But you have to be in Assault Doctrine.
Yeah. Anyway, so you were like, hey, remember you had Devastator Doctrine? It's like minus whatever. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
It changed a couple of my saves because a few of my models died because of that. So it does get important. The only reason I memorized the doctrines is because I play Space Wolves and only one doctrine matters, and that's Assault Doctrine. So that's when all the good stuff happens.
How can I get to Assault Doctrine as quickly as possible?
So with Space Wolves, you have a spell that can put a unit in, and you have a strat for 1 CP that can put a unit in. So 2 units for a CP every turn, and then turn 3, everybody's in it. Yeah. So
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I'm hoping with 10th their motto or whatever is simple or something. Simple but not simplified.
Yeah, and from what I've seen of the data sheets that they put out for like the Intercessor, the Terminator, the Termagant, I'm thinking that I like that the abilities are on the data sheets. From what they've said, depending on your detachment, you get 6 strats you get to pick from. So which completely simplifies the game. If you look through with Black Legion, I have
30.
30. With Space Wolves, I have 60
Yeah.
or something stupid.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
got like 30 from Space
yeah.
Marines, and you get another 20 for the
exactly.
for the Legion,
Yeah,
for
so
the
it's like
faction.
it's like 50 or 50. It's something stupid. I counted it one time, and I'm like, how the heck am I ever going to remember all? There's 5 that I use all the time, and that's
Well, and
like it's
and that's how the game. So for instance, like CP or whatever.
Yeah.
Stratagems. That's one of the things about the stratagems is it's kind of like when you're playing on the playground with your with your friends or whatever. And they're
Right.
like, oh yeah, I have an infinity invulnerable shield and you can't hurt me this for the next 5 minutes. And it's like, and that's what it feels like where like you're doing your thing and then somebody just pulls a strat out and throws it out and it totally fucks up your plan. But I mean that's fun in a way because especially with Deathwatch, they're very Swiss Army knife. So for instance, against orcs, I can reduce their charging by killing them on Overwatch.
Right.
With the Eldar, if they're within 12 inches, I have like an Auspex scan that can like interrupt their deployment.
Right.
So there are like cool. So if I interrupted that with like an Eradicator, where somebody's like deep striking with a bunch of elves, and then I nuke it off the board with Eradicator,
with the full rerolls, and it's just like
that's a great
yeah.
move. But at the same time, it is so much to remember
Yeah.
that oftentimes you'll forget. So for instance, fighting last with my character or whatever,
Yeah.
that should be just like default. Like
Right.
if they only have 6 stratagems, that should be one of them.
Right.
Because it happens all the time. You lose.
Or depending on like Dante will probably have it because he has the ability to use an epic deed stratagem for free.
Right.
So it's always fight on death.
Right.
Or there's a Blood Angel one where it's like Angel Sacrifice where they have to fight him. Like even if they're engaged with 7 units, they
Yeah.
have to target Dante and they can't target anybody else.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Like I'm hoping stuff like that is baked into the data sheets. That way it cuts because I know that they're going to cut strats down. Like they're you can only pick 6. That's great. I don't want key characters like Dante, Abaddon
To lose the flavor.
flavor.
Yeah.
I don't want them to have like 1 or 2 abilities each. I want them to have cool stuff. Abaddon can stand to lose about 10 things. Like he just has and it's so much to remember. Like he actually has a warlord trait I did not use at all in this battle.
Yeah.
And that is to pregame select a unit and core and characters within 6 of him reroll all wound rolls against that unit all game.
Yeah.
And I didn't need it, but again, it would have been nice to have. It's good if you're going against like an Astraeus or like some giant thing, a Biotitan, Angron, something that I want to kill. Yeah. It's really good, but
No, I'm happy. I'm happy. So as much as a bitter pill as this is, the Black Legion and the Deathwatch are actually kind of mirrored in a really cool lore way.
Yeah.
So the Deathwatch, there's Xenos Hunters, which doesn't necessarily play into the Imperium versus Chaos section, but they recruit from all chapters. So for instance, I have an Imperial Fist right here. I have a Crimson Fist right here. I have a Salamander. I have another Salamander. A Salamander. I have Ultramarines. I have Blood Angels. I have a Raven Guard. I have everyone pulled into each unit, and the way that I set up my chat, I even took a few traders and mixed them in there and just say they're successors. But basically, I mixed all the units up. I painted them very specifically with each legion, each chapter. Actually, I think I saw somebody in chat ask how many of these I painted. I've painted all of my things except for the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought was from Mastermind Models and Miniatures. And then, but just what I was going to say, the Black Legion is similar in that lore aspect, where Abaddon, being the badass he is, who has absolutely proven himself this battle, he recruits warp talons from the Night Lords. He recruits, Corn Berserkers, the Hounds of Abaddon from the World Eaters. He recruits, just Legionnaires who join the Black Legion by default, or they're Iron Warriors.
And I actually, ironically enough, lore-wise, I actually paint my models as a Black Crusade force. So like here I have a Word Bearer with a plasma rifle. I have a Red Corsair with a heavy chain axe. Thousand Sons, Master of Possession, a Death Guard, Demon Prince.
And that's the thing too. You can do the Thousand Sons as like the Psychers, like the Witches, and you can do the Word Bearers as like the Dark Apostles or whatever. So the way that you have the flavor where each legion that specializes in a thing.
I'll send you a picture of him. I don't have him today, but my Dark Apostle is actually a Fallen.
Nice.
He is like hooded. He has like all the swords and stuff, and then his little acolytes, the little Dark Angel acolytes, are his little dudes.
Nice. Although some of the Fallen have allegedly been redeemed in the RC. So some of the Fallen, the Dark Angels who turned traitor originally and under Luther, and they've had this very ambiguous lore where people have said like, well, a good chunk of them have turned to Chaos, and they serve Chaos now.
Right.
A good chunk of them are Renegades, so they only serve themselves.
Right.
And a good chunk of them are Loyalists.
But they kind of got lumped in, and
but-
so
and
they're
they can't go to the Loyalist forces
Right.
because the Dark Angels will hunt them
Yeah, I
down.
guess-
So there's a lot of black shields that are in the Deathwatch that are allegedly Dark Angels.
right.
So, there's all that lore, and apparently with the Lion returning, a healthy chunk of the Fallen have come back to his banner and said,
And have been,
hey, listen,
yeah.
I fought for Luther because I thought that was the right thing to do, but I didn't know I was fighting you, so
Right.
He said that you guys were the traitors.
Right,
My bad.
and the lion has pardoned a good chunk. So with the new novel, that's the one thing. The lion finally gets reunited with the Dark Angels, and they don't say anything about how they react to that. Azrael's there, Samael's there, Ezekiel's there, and they don't give you a bit, not even an iota, of the reaction to the lion returning to the
But I'm
rock.
kind of happy with that because a lot of people were saying the Lion's model looks like Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones.
It does.
And
It
so,
does.
So I was kind of happy, one, with the Lion returning, two, with the stress that that's going to put Gilliman under.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure the Lion is going to be like, well, let's not be pussies about this. Let's
Right.
get it on. Let's go ahead and get all the Marines and the legions together. Let's crusade in the Imperial
Right.
Nihilists. Let's restore order to the Imperium. Let's start.
And-
let's start a new
And then
thing.
Gilliman pulls up the star map with the giant tyrannid arc of death and says, Crusades are cool, however...
Yeah. Let me turn on my logistics brain real quick
Yeah.
and see if I can walk you through it. And then the Lion's gonna be like, "That's too complicated for me. I'm gonna go Crusade."
Yeah,
and then-
I don't know if Counterpoints plans on doing like a overview of the new book. I saw a lore overview of it this morning. I watched like a 30-minute video of it.
I saw that right
And
after.
yeah, that's the one I watched as well. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but if you want to hop over there and watch that, it's like 27 minutes long,
It's
and
solid.
it is like, as a Chaos fan, I'm
Yeah.
super happy with it. Like
Yeah.
super happy with it.
I would give spoilers, but I know them, so
Yeah.
I won't be mean since he's not giving spoilers.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the point is that Chaos doesn't win fully everything, but they do achieve what they need to achieve.
Correct.
And they achieve it the way that they want to achieve it.
Correct.
So the Imperial forces, much like today, felt like they were doing a good job, but taking a healthy chunk out of the enemy while fighting against strong odds. But then Chaos has its own schemes, and
Right.
they're doing their schemes in the background. And then final thing on the release of the Lion and the Dark Angels. What I'm hoping for with the Tywin Lannister thing is I do kind of hope they Game of Thrones it a little bit, where basically there's redeemed fallen who are of use, but the Dark Angels are so used to hunting fallen that they can't get over their beef, and so even though the Lion says, "Hey, they're your brothers from 10,000 years ago. They're chill.
There's still going to be
let
some
them
degree of
alone.
infighting,
They're going to
or
be hunting each other,
Yeah.
they're killing each other in the backgrounds, or they're not going to support each other during battle, and they're going to buddy fuck each other and all that kind of shit." And then I'm hoping the Lion sees some of that stuff, and then he kind of loses it, and then he kills some people.
My question is, what happens to Cypher?
Yeah.
What happens to Cypher? Because Cypher hasn't been really actively going against the Imperium.
Yeah.
He hasn't really been helping them a whole lot either. He's been kind of serving his own means. The more important objective for Cypher was to keep the Fallen alive, because he knew that they were deceived. Like, he knew, this isn't what we wanted. But he also knew if he goes back to Azrael, he's dead.
Right.
So, he's
do his own thing.
between a rock and a hard place. And I'm curious to see what happens when Azrael, Ezekiel, Samael, the head guys are reconnected with Cypher.
I do want GW to be slow.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people, they want to blaze through the lore, they want to get their meat in, their hooks into it, and all that kind of stuff and all that. But I don't want to rush the end games, the end times so much that we just lose all the end story instantaneously. Because the truth is, you could still bring back every Loyalist Primarch in some form or fashion over the next, every other year, 2 to 3 years. You
Right.
have a decade of that. Bring back every single Traitor Primarch in some form or fashion as Demon Princes or Lords of War.
Yeah, I think they got Perturabo, Lorgrar, and Fulgrim left, and that's it.
Yeah.
Everybody
so-
else is back.
Yeah, so you can bring everybody back. You can kind of have your end times or whatever. And then actually, this is my lore hope. I hope that they bring everybody back. Everybody starts killing each other again. Hopefully, the clone of the Iron Hands guy. Hopefully, Ferrus Manus survives.
Yeah. I don't think so. Only because Kurz is now dead.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes it a little bit more even.
But supposedly
It depends what happens with Dorn.
Supposedly, who is it? The clone guy, the Emperor's Children guy.
Fulgrim.
The Fabius Bile.
Bile, yes.
So Bile has clones of, I think, Horus, Fulgrim,
Everybody,
and
everybody that's dead, he's got a clone of.
Right.
I think the Black Legion, because originally the Emperor's Children made a clone. They stole the clone of Horus from the Black Legion.
Yeah.
The Black Legion with Abaddon Resurgent came and stole it back. This was in the warp, like right after.
it.
Yeah, then it died, and then Bile brought it back. I don't know, because when Horus died, his soul died. So I don't know that they're going to be able to actually bring him back. When they've tried to in the past, he's just been kind of a soulless Hulk, and he just kind of.
So this is something that who is it? Major Kill. This is something that Major Kill has talked about, where he believes, and I think it's good lore. Like, even if GW doesn't use it, I still think it's a cool way to think about it. Is that when the Emperor was doing the Primarch project, he was gene editing the ultimate warriors and tacticians and taking parts of his soul and infusing it into it. But also, because each warp entity has its own flavor, he took minor gods of the warp and then infused them into the Primarch.
Yeah, because there was more. There used to be, quote unquote, more than just the 4 Chaos gods.
Right.
You know, there's always been like that 5th weird one that like always tries to manifest, and the other 4 kill him. I forget what the heck his name is.
Well, there's a whole bunch of Eldar
and then
gods
there's
too that, like, we didn't know about. So
yeah.
But all right. Well, I think it is dinner time.
Yes.
So we're gonna wrap up, pack up, call it a day. Thank you to the people who did do the donations and all that kind of stuff. If you could get us some more donos and money. Leo Whitmer, thank you very kindly. Azrael, Chase T, Michael Chazon, Chazon. I don't remember your first name, but thank you for daring me to get tabled, but then paying me $20 for as a consolation prize. I'll take it. And
yeah, that's right. Abaddon did. He butchered the Horus clone out of disgust. That's right. Yeah. So Horus clone is now that was Grandmaster Alfarius in chat. That's correct.
Yeah. So I hope they treat the end times with. I hope the end game, the end times, is over the next decade to 2 decades. Like, literally take your time with it and build it out and flesh out each faction to have a satisfactory end at the end, and then kill the Emperor.
Yes.
And then have the Imperium fall and have it be an open question whether or not the remnants of the Imperium can survive a dark galaxy long enough for the perpetual Emperor and Vulcan to remanifest themselves.
Yes. Also, there's some speculation that when Leman Russ returns, he's in the warp looking for the Tree of Life, trying to grab its soul so he can resurrect the Emperor. My thought is, when he does that, Horus's soul will also be resurrected.
Nice.
So Horus will come back, Emperor will come back, and then they'll actually get to duel.
Nice.
Because I think, and this isn't a spoiler because I haven't read The End and the Death and all that kind of stuff, I think that Sanguinius lost his mind.
Like that one?
The Sanguinius stabs the Emperor. Horus goes to kill Sanguinius. Sanguinius kills Horus. Dorn comes in, sees it, has to kill Sanguinius. He has to literally stab him in the back and kill him.
Yeah.
And he pulls the Emperor who's mortally wounded out. That's my thought.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Dorn was, because I don't think, because the Emperor is not dead. So Dorn, I don't think he's like, oh my, Dad's mortally wounded. Let's put him in the Golden Throne, and then I'm gonna be sad and penitent. I think he's sad because he had to kill his brother.
Yeah.
He had to kill Sanguinius. And
even if it ends up where the traditional story ends up being validated, where Sanguinius wounds, Horus, and then Horus
kills him, and then
all that kind of stuff. Even if all of that happens, I'm still hopeful that you can bring back everything not quite as it was. So Corvus Corax coming back as basically an Imperial demon, I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, when Leman Russ comes back, he's not going to be a human. So, in case
Todd and Leman Russ re-emerging from the warp,
in case you didn't know, the Wolfen are the company that went with Leman Russ into the warp. So when Leman Russ comes back, he's going to look a little different. I'm sorry to break it to you guys. He is not going to look the same.
Giant werewolf.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's call it so we can pack up and eat some dinner. But it was a beautiful game. Thank you kindly for coming out. Thank you to chat for the donos. Thank you to everyone who came out. I wish you a
Final
beautiful
score.
evening.
Final score for
Uh-huh.
anybody who cares. 94-33.
Dang, Imperial got
It was- and-
butchered.
And the only reason was because the primary, you would have had a lot more if we did the traditional primary, like 5 points per turn for holding an objective.
Yeah.
But the way we did it was you get 5 points for holding each
At
objective
the end,
which
yeah.
caused me to get 45 and you did 0. So it's
Right.
a 45-point gap. So it was a little closer than the score suggests, only because we were playing narrative and playing a little bit differently.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate to the dozen people who hung out with us the entire time. I'm gonna call it. I appreciate.